What's going on, family? As you guys enter, make sure you get them likes up. Let's get these likes up. I see you, Cora. I see you, Luke Case. It's almost go time. Let's get these likes up, fam. Let's get these likes up. All right, y'all, it's go time. Give it up for Ameera.
JR, stop it. Stop it. Thank you so much. Hi, Josh. Hi, guys. Hi, DNA Forever. Hi, Lucas Lee. Hello, hello, Trex. Hi, I am Alex. Hey, guys. Welcome in. Green Gang. Hey, Cora. Gang, gang. Hi, Larry. Hi, Latasi. How are you? Guys, there's so many names here I haven't seen before. Welcome in, guys. If you guys are new, welcome to the Lapeef Network. If you're new to this show, welcome. I am Ameera. I will be your host tonight. I will be your, as they call it, your flight attendant for tonight's flight. Stop it, JR. Hi, TC. Hi, Catherine. JR, I don't know why he's in such a good mood today. I'm trying to figure it out, but JR, it's nice to see you in a good mood. Hi, Kelly. All right, guys. So I think we should begin. Mr. C, welcome in, Mr. C, as well. Hi, OB. I've seen you here before, OB. Thank you so much. I don't feel that stunning. I feel rather average. So we're going to get into that. So if you guys don't know, we will be in another city, guys. I think the link should be somewhere in the chat. But there it is. Thank you so much. We should be in Atlanta August 5th through 6th. Please get your tickets as soon as possible because they do run out. It's cosa seria. As they say in Spanish, es cosa seria. So thank you guys for joining me. And I hope you guys have been having a good week. I know the summer is really heating up around the country. Most of the country has been going through a heat wave. Let me bring this closer. Most of the country is going through a major heat wave because Ameera is enjoying some. I'm joking. No, but guys, the country is going through a heat wave. So please be safe out there. Make sure you don't give yourselves heat stroke and be careful. Just be careful. Right. Are you guys ready to begin? Are you guys ready? Here we go. I'm going to pull up some banners because, as you guys know, we love banners around here. First banner. He is 666 and you are average. I saw in the comments someone said if he's 666 and he's demonic or diabolical or something like that. That's not what I mean, guys. When I say 666, we all know what the majority of women want. Every time I see any dating shows, or if you see just singles, that every woman comes on and says, I want tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, dark, and handsome. 6 feet, six figures, and six other things. Use your imagination. Why do we have I want to speak about this for a reason, because it's been coming around more and more lately that women are craving the 666, the three sixes, and also the tall, dark, and handsome. Every woman wants that one guy. That guy is so desired. So Kevin Samuels used to speak about this all the time. He used to say how, if this man is so desired, do you think that you're the only one that wants him or that will get him? Do you think that you're really that special? And women don't like to be called regular. So he's 666 and you're average. The women that I see who are craving the 666 men, when I look at them, I don't see them as spectacular women. I don't see them as something that, let's see, that a 666, a man who is above it all, a man who is highly desired, who is the most desired out of the world. I don't see her being a proper prize for said 666 man. I don't. I don't. Because you know how you have you guys ever seen couples that walk together and it looks misfit? Have you guys seen that before? They call it the number 18 couple, where the man will be thin and the woman will be like a zero. Is it number 10 or number 18? One of the two. The man looks like a one, the woman looks like a zero. You ever see these misfit couples where the man is 6'5", the woman is 4 whatever, 4'11"? Have you guys seen it? This is the type of thing that I'm talking about when I see all of these women who go around and say, I want the 666s, I want the tall, dark, and handsome. Are you what they want? And another thing that I'm going to bring up that I typically don't is, what there's some bad stuff that comes along with being with a man who is either highly desired or uh, I want to say even rich. Okay, I'm gonna say it, even rich. There are some bad things that come with it. And I'm not speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from my personal life. You guys know I am married to a millionaire, but that's not the point here. But there's some bad things that come along with the lifestyle. And I think a lot of women don't, all to look good in front of other people, all to have bragging rights. Well, once you get into it, then you realize that it wasn't what you wanted. That, anyway, 666. You're average, and he is everything that everyone wants. He is everything that most women want. The most desired man in the world. The most desired man in the world is a man who is tall. I honestly don't think that it matters if he's fat or skinny. I'm going to say that to you, because women, if you really think about it, a man who is buff, who has muscles and all of that, a lot of women aren't really attracted to that. There are women who like to look at it and have googly eyes at it. But I don't believe, women, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that women are as shallow about physical attributes that as men are. I think men care more about how the woman looks than women care about how men looks. So 6 foot and above is that's mandatory to be considered one of the most desirable. 6 figures. You must make at least 6 figures and above. You need to make enough money to be comfortable. How many men, and this is something that no one ever spoke about before Kevin Samuels as well, how many men make that much money? How many men are making 6 figures, honestly? And when I say 6 figures, I mean low 6 figures. Let's start with 100,000. How many men are making that much money? And what do they do? Women cannot handle the hours that you're going to be alone, the lack of attention, when he gets home, he's not really looking to you. Sometimes he's not going to have time for you. He's not going to have energy for you. but you want him. Do you understand what comes with that? Do you understand how lonely you're going to be? Do you understand that you're not going to get everything you want? I don't think you do. The other six, I cannot speak on because you guys, sex, you guys speak about sexual intimacy and all of that. That's to each their own. If you are a woman who needs a horse, I would say that's a problem with your pieces, not his, madam. I don't think it's him that is small. It's probably you that's big. If that's what you need in order to be satisfied. But hey, everybody has their preferences. Tall, dark, and handsome. This is what the women want. And productive, fruitful, financially. That's what they want. The most desired woman would be a woman that is healthy looking. When I say healthy looking, I mean long hair. Typically, long hair is a sign of good health. People always ask, why do men love women with long hair? It's typically a sign of health because when you see a woman that has long, luscious, flowing hair, it typically means she eats good. If her hair is shiny, that could also mean that she's not shiny as in oily, guys. I mean shiny with a natural shine to it. It means that she has good vitamins, supposedly. This is just from the eyes. It doesn't, you could be dying inside, your liver could be about to explode. That doesn't matter. We're talking about signs that people look for of health. Clear skin. A woman with clear skin, possibly long hair, small waist. A lot of the reasons why men do not like obese women or fat women is because it looks like she's had children already. If you are a man and you are looking for a woman to take into your future, you do not want a woman that is fat because it looks like she's already given birth. She doesn't look, should I say this word? She doesn't look fresh. She doesn't look fresh. Sorry. She looks expired. She looks soiled. It's just old. Everything is just like she's fat. She's been used. She's probably had babies. That's what it looks like. Just to be completely honest, it looks like you've already had children. And men, you see a woman who has a small waist, it looks like she possibly hasn't had children yet. And which could be farthest thing from the truth. The truth is, so many women who haven't had kids are big and obese, which is a shame because there's no reason why you should be obese and you haven't had any kids. Even if you've had kids, you should not be obese. What am I saying? But even worse, if you have never had children and you step on the scale and it breaks or it starts to squeak and scream for its life, something is wrong. So you don't look healthy. You look like you've had children already, which could tell a lot of other men, well, she looks like she has children already because she's overweight. So she probably has a husband or a man that is with her already. So it's a turnoff. It's just a turnoff, ladies. Overweight, fat, extra fat where it shouldn't be. It's a turnoff. So long hair, healthy looking skin without too many pimples and blemishes, white in your eyes, all of that shows signs of health. Keeping your waist small, not letting your legs fill with cellulite. You know what cellulite comes from? It comes from not being active. You're not doing any exercise. So when your fat comes, it just builds up like cheese, cottage cheese. No man wants to see that. So the most desired woman, healthy looking, thin, preferably long hair. Because I don't know that there are men out there who do like women with pixie cuts, but it's rare. The woman who knows how to act like a lady, who doesn't embarrass him in the streets. No man wants to be embarrassed. He wants a woman that knows how to properly act when she's outside, a woman that can be taken around his friends and not act like a savage. I think most men also want a woman who is smart, intelligent, not educated, but intelligent. Because A lot of women, we've all spoken about this. Now, this is a topic that has been discussed and rediscussed and rehashed all over. Educated is not the same as being intelligent. Smart, be smart, be curious, be willing to learn. I think a lot of men, when they try to get away from the educated woman, I don't think that they mean, I want a stupid woman who's going to be pregnant and barefoot at home. I just want a woman who I can have a conversation with, I can speak about something with, and she can follow along. And also a woman who is respectful. That's what I believe. So a woman who is respectful is hard to find in today's Western world. Most women think that they're respectful because they don't call their husband, boyfriend names. You guys saw the woman from last week? You guys remember who called in? You remember that conversation? She said, I respect my husband. Guys, last week's conversation was wow. But she said, I respect my husband. I would never let him discipline me because he's not my father. But then she was called out later for actually talking to her husband in some kind of a way in a previous stream. So, are you still respectful even though you didn't call your husband names? If people can come and say, well, we saw you speaking to your husband this way, and this way, are you still a respectful woman? Just because you didn't call names. Okay, I don't know. So, respectful, healthy, or at least healthy looking, and intelligent. Not educated, but intelligent. I would say this is the most desired woman. Now, any men out there who want to add on to that list, feel free. Then there's the majority of women. The majority of women that we see today. You guys, I hate when people get mad at me when I speak about what I see outside, as if I don't have eyes, as if I am not allowed to speak about what I see because I'm not a certain race, or I'm not of a certain class, or I'm not of a certain profession. What does that mean? I have eyes. I can see what's outside, and it's not looking good. Everybody knows. The majority of women today, there's been statistics talking about weight in this country, in the Western world. The three fattest countries in the world are the United States, Saudi Arabia, which has come up to the second place, and Mexico. The three fattest places, fattest countries. The West, especially United States, the majority of people almost are fat. Or not fat, they consider them medically overweight, but let's just say fat. You're just fat. You're overweight. That's it. You're just overweight. The majority of Westerners are overweight. That wouldn't be such a problem, right? If people had great attitudes. But then you look outside, you see how many women smile to you when you walk past. I'm a woman, even me as a woman. I watch women. Oh god, I sound like some kind of a stalker. I watch women on my free time around 7:30 at night to 1 in the morning. I do. But I watch you. When I'm walking around, I look at you. I look how you act. I look at it because we have conversations every Sunday and I need content. But I watch you. I'm looking at you. And this gives me my reason to speak to you guys, because I look at it and I'm like, I have to present that to people. You guys have to talk about it. It's bad. Most women have an attitude. Most women, oh my God. I want to speak about this. Okay. Side note. Women, I look, I have seen too much now. I have seen too much. There's a video floating around the internet of a woman taking off a wig. She was taking off a wig off of her head, and it was a blonde wig. She was taking it off and ripping out the hairs on her, like my microphone, like here, all of these hairs, ripped them off in front of the camera. She, guys, if this is what is happening, I understand now why I see so many women outside with nothing here everything is just gone. Like the forehead no longer stops here, but it goes like right here, like right there. I understand now. If that's what you're doing to yourself, I guess I was just ignorant. You guys call me ignorant all the time. Maybe you're right. Maybe I am ignorant. Maybe I didn't know about that. I didn't know. I didn't think that that was something I should know. But women gluing this stuff and then just ripping it. Oh my God. Like at least put some soft water on it. What is soft water? Warm water on it and then like let it soak. And then there's got to be a better way. But I see this outside as well. I see it when I go to the grocery store, guys. I go to the grocery store and there's women wearing these wigs and they're overweight. And I'm just like, oh my God, why? Because you think to myself, like, a lot of women, these trends started with Beyonce. Beyonce was the one from my view, she was the one who started wearing these wigs. And people, as soon as they found out that Beyonce's wearing these wigs, everyone started wearing these wigs. Is that what you want to look like? JR, don't do that again without a trigger warning, please. I can't. Oh my God. That's the same girl. Same girl. Same forehead. I swear, all of her hairs are going to be gone. So I see this outside. I see the ladies outside with the thing. And you know what it makes me think? It started with Beyonce. All of this started with Beyonce. And then after that, everyone started wearing it. But my question to you is this. When Beyonce isn't working, when she's not performing, she's not wearing that stuff the majority of the time. You've seen her out. There are videos, photos, everything. How Beyonce looks when she's not performing. She looks normal. But you see women who are going to the grocery store trying to emulate Beyonce, trying to look like Beyonce when you're not a performer. You're not a performer, you're average. Everyone is average. There's nothing wrong with being average. It's preferable to be average. Do you guys being in the upper class, being in what everybody wants to be, the millionaire class, what have you, it's not. It's stressful. It's hard. It's depressing. That money doesn't make you happy. I know people always say, well, it's more comfortable to cry in a Bentley than it is in a Honda. Really? Really? Because I know Hondas have heated seats now too. I know Hondas have heated seats, air conditioning, automatic windows. They have, like, what? And being in the lower class, of course, is even worse. So being in the middle is perfect, but a lot of people don't care. They don't care to. So the majority of women that I see are trying to emulate something outside and you're trying to look like a performer, trying to look like you're a performer, whether it be an actress, um, a singer, a stripper, even something. I don't know what women are trying to look like, but it's not working. It's not making you look more like an entertainer or a performer. It's making you look unhealthy. I'll just leave it there. You look unhealthy because it looks like you don't have your own hair. Because if you did have your own hair, you would wear your own hair. If you needed the full face of makeup just to go outside, then people would think, well, why? Why do you need that much? Why do you need all of this just to go to the grocery store? I don't know. What about the average man? The average man is who I talk about on my own channel all the time, and this is what we talk about here as well. JR always talks about the regular men, and Kevin Samuels as well used to always say, don't speak down on the regular men, because the regular men are what makes this country run. They keep this country going. Not women, not women power, not the LGBT, not because oh, okay. Am I allowed to say this, JR? Please, JR, don't get mad at me. If the world were left to be run by women, LGBT, I would even say if it was just all, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to get in trouble. But if the world was left to be run by only women and LGBT, yes, LGBT are men, but do you think that they would do the job as efficiently as we have it being done right now by those blue collar men? by the men who get outside and get dirty, that by those men who go into those circles in the road, those sewer circles, they go inside of those things and there are roaches in there. There's cocoons of insects there's all kinds of things in there, not even speaking about your poo and your wee. No, your wee, your poo, and your neighbor's wee and poo, and everyone else's around's wee and poo is in there. Your spit that you spit out every day when you brush your teeth and you go, that's in there too. Women, when we have our cycles, all of that is in there. And men open up that little circle in the street and they get in there and work. The average man is what makes this world run, and I just hate that he is unappreciated. He's unappreciated, and all for the 666, all for the 6 foot tall, 6 figure, 6 everything. If he doesn't have that, he's not seen. It sucks because he's not what is it? Here it is. The most desired man in the world. You can't take him to your office parties and say, oh, yes, this is my boyfriend, my husband. Oh, yes, he is, the CEO of this company. He is the chairman of this company. No, you can't do that. Because if you have a average man, you have to say, yeah, he's a plumber. Yeah, no, not the owner of the plumbing company, just a plumber. Nothing wrong with it, but it's embarrassing for women who want that prestige. They want to have All right. So I will let here, I want to put the link in the chat, guys. DT says it's called a manhole for a reason. Oh my gosh, exactly. It's not called a woman hole, or then again, what is a real woman anyway? We don't know what women are. What is a woman, guys? Let me ask you guys. Maybe you guys know. What is a woman? Because we can't use gendered language like manhole anymore. Because we don't know what a woman or a man is anymore, do we? We shouldn't guess. Oh my God, I'm looking at your comments. I missed this. Oh man, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I missed your comments. Alex says wig are disgusting. You know what I wonder? What is the smell under that? I'm just curious. Don't shoot arrows at me. I'm just curious. It's a question. What's the smell under it? Just give me a little whiff. I just want to know, because my thing is, you put your hair under it, and how long do you keep it on? Because I don't imagine you doing that every day, ripping it off and taking off your side edge hairs every day. So how long do you leave it on? I don't know. And if you work out, or if it's hot, it's the middle of summertime. How does it smell in there? I don't know. Curious. Lou says they don't care. Is that Lou Casley or is that a different Lou? Oh, a bunghole. Bunghole. There it is. Guys, let me try to get the... Ew, Guru says sweating. Ew. Oh, no. Let me try to get the link in here. 1 second. I don't know if... Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me try to put the link on the top of the chat so you guys can join me. Don't look under my neck. I look weird. 1 second. Come on. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay. There. Yeah, it's like sweaty and disgusting. And that's why I say, look, you, oh my God, TC says funky. Guys, look. Okay, wait. Now, summer is here. Summer is in full effect right now, right? When I go outside, I don't wear foundation in the summer because, God forbid, I melt outside. I just go outside and melt. I don't wear foundation. There's just so many things you cannot do in the summer. So I can't imagine these women who put extra hair on your head, especially if you already have hair of your own. It's already hot with your own hair, and your own hair is sweating. My hair sweats in the summertime. So I'll give you guys a little insight on me. I wash my hair once a week. Every week, Sunday, typically, like tonight is my wash night. My hair is oily. Look at it. It's oily. It's disgusting. Tonight is my wash night. I wash my hair once a week. In the summertime, I usually wash my hair twice a week. Why? Because I sweat more and it's disgusting. And it doesn't last as long in the summertime because I'm sweating. It's disgusting. And my hair hits my back and my back is sweating. I know, God. Guys, I'm Arab. We sweat a lot. It's just disgusting. That's all I'm saying. It's disgusting. I just can't imagine not only having my own hair making me hot, but then having another hat of hair on top of it, covering my own, making me more hot, and then ew, I just can't imagine the smell. I can't imagine. That's just well, hmm. The what? What does it say? Warda? The is rotten funk. Ew. Guys, please. Oh, Mr. Don says it smells like feet. Is that true? Is that real? Is that from experience, sir? Because if you have it from experience, I need to know. I need to know because I was okay. So when I was watching that video of that girl take off her wig and it was pulling all of her hairs, it almost made me, because I'm weird like that. I just want to smell stuff. It almost made me just want to go there and like do like a scratch and sniff, like a. I just want to see what it smells like. I just want to know. I want to know. I just want to know. I'm sorry. I just want to know. Somebody said every 4 days. Every 4 days, what? That they do the wigs? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You would not have any hair if you did it every 4 days. Marcus says, Ameera, trust. It's no fun to try to run your fingers through a woman's weave. It's not sexy. I'm not speaking about weave. I'm talking about wigs. It is just, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really know the difference. Well, the difference is that weave is sewn in the hair. A wig is put on top of the hair. I'm learning. I did watch YouTube. I've watched, He Calls Me Friend says, our hair don't get oily. Everyone's hair gets oily. Everyone's hair gets disgusting. If you have a scalp, you have an oily head. You will have oil. That's nonsense. Our hair doesn't get oily. Everyone's hair gets oily. It just may not be as noticeable for different textures, but you're going to get oily. And if you smell your hair every day, if you just run your fingers like that and smell, you're going to smell. You have to smell it. There's no way that anyone is saying that their hair doesn't get oily. I don't know. Oh, Janae says, I need someone who wears wigs to get on this panel. I would love that too. I will love it too. Let me see. Female Energy. Hey, girl. Female Energy says, Ameera, long hair is not always a thing men need to have. Most Black women don't wear their hair straight and long. No, that's not what I was saying. It doesn't have to be straight and long. What I mean is no pixie cuts. Did you know what a pixie cut is? Where all of this is gone in the back. You just shave it like, the machine. Yeah, don't make fun of my noise for the thing. That don't do that. Have long hair. Like have it at least to your shoulders. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying every woman has to have long, flowing, straight hair. That's nonsense. Nonsense. Thank you, Female Energy, though. Ew. DT says it smells like a roller skate in a hood club with no AC. A hood club? What's a I'm lost. Ew. No. Oh, it's spray that softens the glue. She was tripping. I promise. Thank you. I knew that there was a better way to do it, and she was doing it the hard way. I knew it. See, I know I'm smart. I knew I was smart. Miss Anita says, no, Black women hair gets dry, not oily. I'm side-eyeing you, Miss Anita Carter. I'm side-eyeing you. Because you're going to tell me that Black women are the only women in the world that can go a week or two without getting an oily scalp. That your hair just dries out instead of your oils coming out of your scalp. You're telling me that Black women are the only women who don't. I don't believe that. I don't. Sorry. I don't. I don't believe that. No. No. Female energy says, we black, we oil in our hair. I've heard of that. I've heard of putting oil in your hair. Yes. I mean, everybody puts oil in their hair. But I don't know. I'm talking about the scalp mostly. I'm not talking about the ends. I'm talking about the scalp. The scalp is going to get dirty no matter what. Let me see. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Let me. No, I'm not, Aaron. I swear I'm not. I swear I'm not. But we brought up the conversation, so let's have it. If that is a conversation, I don't mind talking about it. Just don't get offended if I say something. Don't get offended. If I say that everybody's hair gets oily, no matter who you are, your hair will get oily. Don't get offended. But I don't mind it. I'm not coming for anyone. I don't mind speaking about any topic. That's all I'm saying. I don't mind speaking about any topic under the sun. The real ATM, the real ATM, he says, yeah, the scalp does get oily just like a dirty face does. Pores are pores. Is that so much to ask? Just be honest. Like, it's true. It's true. Everyone gets oily. Like, how can someone say it doesn't get? No. And Janae says, sweaty scalp is just as nasty. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty. The honesty. Just be honest with ourselves. Like, we're not gonna say like, oh, it doesn't. Look, the other argument that I can accept is that, okay, maybe Black women's hair takes longer to get oily. You could say that Black women's hair takes longer to get oily. Okay, that's understandable. But no. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I will be right back. Oh my god, sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry. Somebody said I just choked on a goat bone. See, that's not right. That's racism. That's racism. I'm gonna claim racism right there. But no. Okay. So no. I'm not arguing that at all. Somebody said I'm not arguing. You can't believe she's arguing this. If you want to speak about it, you can call in. Call in. I don't mind it. But that is not actually the topic of the show today. The topic is about the 666 and women being average. But if you want to speak about hair, I'm down for anything. I have no limit to what I'm able to talk about. I want to speak about anything. And yeah, if you want to argue that about hair, then that's fine too. I don't understand why we're going to argue about hair, but sure. Let me see. Yeah, I see it. Okay, I see the comments where people are saying, okay, here, wait, let me pull it up. I'll let you guys read it too. She says, natural black hair has low moisture, so it grows in kinky coils and curls. Low moisture is why our hair texture is different. Understandable. That's what I was saying. I understand that, but I'm talking about the scalp. People were arguing that the hair doesn't get oily after time, that it gets drier, which I'm like, oh, well, if that's the case, then why? It just doesn't make sense to me. But I could be wrong. It could be wrong. And that's why I say I don't mind being wrong. If that's the case, then sure, I'll be wrong. But everybody has a scalp. And if you have a scalp, it's going to get dirty eventually. So I mean, if you want to argue that no, then sure. Says, I love goat. Curry goat is so good. Oh my god. I'm not Indian. I swear I'm not Indian. The chat gets so triggered, Eric. I know. It's because, look, I understand one thing, that the topic of hair, especially with women, and especially even more with Black women, is very difficult. It's a very difficult topic. And I think a lot of Black women feel like they're misunderstood when it comes to their hair. And when it comes to us even speaking about it, it's almost like you can't talk about it. How many emails have I gotten I've gotten so many emails from Black women telling me, you don't understand Black hair, so you don't have a right to speak about it. And I'm telling you, like, it's not even about Black or white. If you're a human, these are things that you're naturally going to have. Your hair will stink. If you don't wash it, it will stink. Whether you know it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, it stinks. I don't understand why, like, a common fact for everyone, for every human in this world, is that if you don't wash your hair, it will stink. Regardless of how much oil or lack of oil you have, it's going to smell bad because your hair soaks up smells from outside. Every time you walk outside, have you had a kid who runs outside and he comes back in and he stinks, and all he did was go outside, but outside stinks. So no matter what, you're going to smell bad. If you don't wash your hair at least once a week, you're going to smell bad. Whether you're sweating or oily or not, it's going to smell bad. King says I'm wrong. I'm wrong that they're going to start stinking if they don't wash their hair at least once a week. Okay. That's fine. I mean, I don't understand what that argument is. It's like, I'm going to tell you that I cannot wash my hair. I can leave my hair in this state for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4, and I don't stink. I don't smell bad. That's what you're telling me. I cannot wash my hair for 2 weeks and I don't smell bad. I'm the only person in the world who will not smell bad after not washing my hair for 2 weeks. That's what you're telling me. That doesn't make any sense. What does it say? How did you and the Lapeef Network find each other? Oh my God. I watched the Lapeef Network before. I used to love it, actually. I used to watch you guys before, not you guys, well, I was with you guys. I used to watch you guys before, and I had called in once, and I just wanted to speak about one of the topics. I forget what it was. It was something, I don't know. You guys know the basic theme of our topics. So I called in, and JR, everybody was there, the panel was there, and JR said to email him because he knew that I had a channel, and he knew that I had went viral a few times on my own channel, and he saw that, and he asked me to email him. So I emailed him, and then he requested that I would be a panel, like come on the panel as a guest. So I did. And from there, the people who were there already know what happened. You guys already know what happened. And I just want to say, like, when I first, look, before me coming onto the Lapeef Network, I used to love watching Courtney. I loved watching Courtney because Courtney was, in my view, very conservative. She was the most conservative girl of the panel. And I thought that she was more like me. I did. So when I would watch her responses to the questions that JR used to propose to everyone, I looked and I was like, oh, man, she is just like me. She's conservative. I wish I could get up on the panel. It would be me and her against Kay. That's what I thought. I was like, it's going to be me and her, me and Courtney against Kay. And it didn't work out that way. Let's just leave it at that. It didn't turn out that way. I loved Courtney. Let's just say that. I did love Courtney so much. I still love her too. I still love her. So yeah, that happened. And now, let me see. I like with the Lapeef Network, I would not change it at all because I didn't have. So if you guys don't know, I'm going to share just a little bit insight. Since being with the Lapeef Network, JR has made me watch different shows. He's made me watch Good Times, and Sanford and Son. He sent me so many things to watch and to understand the shows that I never knew about. He sent me a lot. He also introduced me to R. Kelly music, which is nice, but it's a little bit intimate. Let's just say that. R. Kelly music is a little bit intimate. So that's how that went. Who says, wait, what happened? I'm not going to go into that. If you were here, you were here. If you weren't, I don't think I'm the one to tell you the story. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to say anything. All I'm saying is I thought it was going to be different. I just thought it was going to be different. When I came on, I thought me and Courtney were going to be. I thought we were going to be two pairs, not two pairs, two peas in a pod. I thought we were going to be two peas in a pod. I really did. I thought we were going to team up and be us against the world, but no, didn't turn out that way. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That got a little bit deep for a second. I do not want to go into that topic because I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt, you know. Not with you guys asking questions like that. Please do not. Please do not. Let me see. Wait, what do you mean? What do you have against Sanford and Son? Someone said not Sanford and Son, you big dummy. It's good show. I like it. I liked it, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. And these were the things that I didn't watch before. Like there's a lot of things I didn't know before, and JR has been very patient with me. JR has, you know, Taya or Tia. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. He says, "How did we get to hair topic? Please don't. I don't want to go back to it." Ugh. Yeah. I believe in freedom of speech. I don't get triggered. Thank you. Thank you. And I agree. I believe you should have every right to say what you want. DT says, Courtney be deleting Zim hoes. Well, I don't know. I don't know how, like, all I know is that before I used to watch it. Now I haven't seen her that much. I haven't seen it too much because typically I'm always really busy when they have the show on. But yeah. Let me see. Wait, let me see. Dwayne says, curious question. If the Black women know such about hair and are caring for it, why the weaves and wigs genuinely? I'm starting trouble. Someone's starting trouble, and I'm not going to participate. Bob says, when did it happen? It happened, let me see. It happened August of last year, July, August of last year. So we're almost an exact year from me joining the Lapeef Network. So yeah, around July, August. It was bad. Wait, am I missing something? Oh, okay. Lonnie says, I remember that show. The people who were there, it was guys. Okay. Yeah. Somebody said, go take Kayla's spot. I think Kayla has a great spot on the panel. I mean, I guess she brings entertainment, controversy, a different perspective. There are many women who do think like Kayla, just like Lapeef, just like Jr. says. There's every character that you see on the panel. There's someone who thinks and agrees with that person. Just like there's people who agree fully with Mr. Logic, people who agree fully with me, people who agree fully with Kayla, and even Kay. Kay even has fans. Kay has fans. But yeah, no, I mean, there's always someone out there who thinks like them. Oh my God. Bob says, one thing I've noticed is that you are feminine, and when you have a panel of men, when you talk, the panel gets quiet. On panels with masculine type female, I hate using that word female, women, masculine type women, and a bunch of men, she loses control. Who loses control? Who are we talking about? And thank you for the super chat. But who loses control? What do you mean? Who's losing control? One thing is the thing that I do is I ask the panel to please, when you hear me, to please take heed to what I'm saying, because I cannot be screaming over a whole panel of men. I cannot scream over you because men's voices, they have bass in their voice and it carries further. I can't scream over a whole panel of men. I just can't do it. He calls me friend, says I was there for it. I thought you and Courtney were going to get along. I love both y'all far. You know what? I did too. I really did. He calls me friend. I was so excited to be on the panel. I even told JR, I told JR, like, JR, this is going to be great. Me and Courtney are going to be a thing. No, it never turned into that. We didn't even have a moment that we could. I'll get you, Marcus. I'll get you in. We didn't even have a moment. We didn't even have a moment of bonding, of sisterhood, of conservative sisterhood. That's what I wanted from her. But it didn't work. You're a female, accept what you are. Proud woman. I'm not a female, I'm a woman. But yes, I'm a proud woman. Yes. I wouldn't have it any other way. D. Souza says, we need Kayla on the panel. I got her mind. I get her mind as a modern woman. See, that's what I'm saying. There are women out there who agree with Kayla. So her points of views are represented there. Thank you, Bob, for the super chat. He says, excuse me, the woman loses control, but men quiet up around a feminine woman. You think so? I guess I haven't really been to the other panels anymore, so I don't really know, but all I know is that typically when a woman starts screaming at a man like a man, the man will scream louder because it's almost as if like you're challenging his voice or his tone, so he'll start screaming louder to you. Like you would see like Anton and Kay go back and forth and you're like which would probably never happen with me. I can't imagine Anton ever screaming at me like that. Okay. All right. Super chats are done. Mr. Marcus, if you're there, give me a wave and I'll let you in. Good. Thank you so much. Mr. Williamson, you don't need to give me a wave because I know. All right, guys. Welcome in, guys. I know the topics are a little bit everywhere since we had a little bit of a moment, but whatever you want to speak on, feel free. You can speak on the 666, the most desired men and women. You can speak on hair. You can speak on me on the Lapeef Network. And what are your views of me being on the Lapeef Network, especially when I first entered? Because I think we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary, so I'm not too worried about speaking about it now. So, what do you guys think?
I came on. Can you hear me? Okay, or I
I
have
hear
like
you.
a
I hear you.
cheap mic today. I came in like approximately 5 to 10 minutes ago, and all I heard you was you and the ladies were talking about hair, and I always believe black women. Like my first wife was a black American woman, 21 years. She wore on hair. The woman I'm with now, my new wife, she has dreadlocks or just locks. It's beautiful natural hair, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with you um, being curious about it, asking questions. If you focus too much on the chat, it might throw you off. So
It
just
did.
focus on, yeah. Don't just ignore it. Some people like the troll, you know. Just ignore it. Stick to your thoughts and continue to talk about it. There's nothing wrong with you being curious about it, about how often they wash your hair and all that. And I'm in this space now because I'm listening because I'm in the manosphere, male spaces, and women love to come over. So I think it's some of the ladies in the chat they were saying, I can't remember her name. She said I shouldn't be there because should be an all woman's topic. I disagree. You
Gatekeeping. I've
know
seen a lot of gatekeeping in many panels.
that's a decent, respectful way to call it. I have some choice words to say, but I won't disrespect the platform. But yeah, I think you're on the right track. You need to keep asking, put their feet to the fire, because we black men have been telling them for years, wear your own hair. We love your beautiful hair.
Mr.
You
Truth
know,
R.
so yeah, just keep saying it because they're not listening to us. I mean, maybe another woman saying it, but they feel more comfortable if a black woman tells them. And I say no. It's nothing wrong with you. You have an Arab background.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know, just I don't like women with their own hair. Period. I
Well,
think it's beautiful. I think they should be proud of it.
well, the
I think
topic wasn't
it's
wasn't
2022. Pardon?
the funny thing is that the topic was not speaking about so much natural hair. It was well,
The
it turned in
wig
the
thing.
wig, right, and the summer and the heat and the
It's
sweat and the
nasty.
smell.
It's nasty. It's
And then
nasty. It does sweat under there and it does stink.
it turned into black women don't sweat and they don't have oil in their hair. And I was like, that cannot, well,
No,
one
all
of the
human
people
beings
said,
sweat. The only humans sweat. Animals have to pant through their tongue because they have fur. They don't cover their pores. But humans sweat.
well,
If they
and
didn't
that was
sweat, they would cease to exist. We would just die. You have to sweat. Your
that was
pores.
my point. That
They
was my
have to.
point.
So
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so that's why I was trying to say it's not a racial thing per se. It's just like if you're wearing a wig, no matter what race you are, in the middle of the summer, it's going to smell bad. And it's not healthy to be ripping it off and having the hairs that everyone has, these
Yeah,
little
but
pretty hairs
I'm I'm
pulled
I'm,
off.
I'm talking from a man's view. We don't like that fake hair. We just don't like the. It's like doll hair. It's just not sexy. It's not cool. I know it's not unhealthy, but it's just not fun to rub your hand through fake hair. If you have long locks or your hair is braided up, or if you got a fade. I've been with women who have close cut buzz cuts. They look good. If they look good, they're in shape. They work out. That's all I care about.
Mm,
But the fake hair is like, nah. Because if
mm,
we have a daughter together, and she's teaching my black daughter to hate her hair, that's
mm.
what I don't. I'm not with that. You're showing her through your actions that, oh, I'm going to sit here and put another woman's DNA on top of my scalp, and my daughter would see that. No, no. She should be. Her mother is her role model. She should be proud of her hair, and she teaches her how to maintain it and make it different, beautiful hairstyles. We love women with their own hair,
Thank you
and
so much.
I'll
I
meet
want
up
to
because there's other brothers on the panel. I know they got something to say. So, but thank you for letting me come on. I'll just
thank
mute
you
up.
so much, Marcus. Mr. Love, sorry. Gent J says, did anyone say that black hair don't sweat? No, they said specifically that I said it's going to get stinky and dirty and oily. I said my hair after a few days in the wintertime it takes around 4 days to get oily. In the summertime it takes two. So what I said was that my hair gets oily, gets disgusting. I need to wash it. The argument was that black women's hair doesn't get oily, and I said, well, summertime you're going to be sweaty. It's going to stink. And someone else in the chat said something like, no, you're wrong. And this is where the whole argument came into, where I was like, so who are these special people that when they sweat, it doesn't smell bad? Mr. Williamson, welcome in, Mr. Williamson. Mr. Controversy himself.
Her? Um,
How are you?
Thank you for having me. It's been a while.
It
I
has been
hope
a
you've
while.
been well.
Been good, been good. I went through
Uh,
COVID, I came back, and now I'm here, and we're
oh,
here.
okay. I'm glad you made it through.
Thank you. So, do you
Um,
have anything on the topic?
yeah, I'm tired of telling my sisters their natural hair is much better. So I just let them wear whatever wig they are. But I tell them one thing: you can't complain about the men that get with you if they don't. If you feel like they lied to you, because you've been lying to yourself all along. I mean, that ain't you. That ain't you. So putting all this, especially lashes that's this long, like, and you wearing wig and you coloring that off too. Like, come on, why are you coloring your hair?
I agree, Janae. I agree with you, Janae. I would love for women. You say black, but I just want women to cam up as well because I typically have these conversations, and I have a lot of women here. It's not like I don't have women here. Women are here. They just refuse to come up and speak. I don't understand why. And
I know why.
the topics to me do not seem that controversial to the point where people have to hide. I don't want people to hide. Cora has come up. She typically joins. Um, I don't know if I've ever had Black Lyrics, but I have had Janae as well. But the other women, they refuse to come on.
Well, it
And I don't
depends on the
understand why.
subject.
Like, what's the fear or what is because comments are going up and down. I can see that you're interested, you're speaking, you're commenting, interacting, but you refuse to come speak. I don't understand why. And I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not calling anyone out to be mean to you or anything. But I'm curious, why don't you come speak to me? Why won't you speak to me? Okay. So
And
sorry, Mr. Williams.
yes,
So try.
I was actually watching the first episode that you joined the panel. I think it was with the Latino American girl, I
Yes,
guess.
the Latina lady. Yes.
Yeah, and it was really to find out about marriage in other culture, something dating,
Yes, that's what the
something like
topic
that.
was. I completely forgot, but
And
yes, that was
then
the topic.
I think I don't know for sure, but Courtney don't like anyone outside of black talking about black people per se. She don't mind talking about them, but she just don't like other people talking about. I think that was the only contention that she had with you. It had nothing to do with you personally. It's just so don't take it any personal. It's just she would have done that to anyone. It's just she don't like outsiders talking about black people.
I
She
don't
don't
believe
mind the
that.
sisters. Yeah, I think so. Because the contentions really wasn't that what you were saying was wrong. It's
Mm.
just that the source is where the message was coming from. So she anybody else that would have come on that panel that spoke that same thing, it would have been the same thing too. And I don't know if you noticed, I think a week or two prior to you entering the panel, there was a white lady that she got into too because she said something about black people
Sorry, Nurse Fancy. I
from on
apologize.
Facebook, and she went on that lady hard too because she said something about black people. And so it
I
wasn't just you; it's just she don't like outsiders talking about black people. She don't mind talking about it, pointing it out. So she just
well, my
need other
my
black
question to
people
you,
to come in and point out other black people issues, but
Mr.
not
Williamson,
outsiders. Yes,
I
yes,
would
ma'am.
agree with you if that energy was kept from the beginning. Like not from the beginning, I'm sorry, after she found my channel and combed through my channel and all of that I would understand. But from the beginning, from the very first time, before I was even invited to a panel, this began, Mr. Williamson, and
Okay.
she knew nothing about what I had ever said, nothing about what I had ever done. So that's why I say I do not believe that. I believe it's something else and I'm not sure what. But that's why I say I wanted to. Okay. The very first time I came on, nobody knew who I well, I think Anton had seen me before, but no one knew and I wasn't invited to any panels. I had just called in as a guest. And from that very moment, I was not I was not welcomed from her. And I was curious why. I didn't understand why, but
So she didn't know that you were gonna come on at all that
no.
day.
No, not
She
at
didn't
all.
know at all that you
No.
were gonna be a
She didn't
guest.
know me at all. She didn't know
Uh,
me.
but she knew you were gonna come
Ameera,
on.
may I say something?
Yes,
I don't
Mr.
want to
Williams.
interrupt.
Mr.
Go ahead. Go
Williams.
ahead.
I think you might. I think you know why some that she didn't like you because you're pretty.
Oh, come on, man. Come
I
on.
don't know.
Sometimes
I
it's
don't
that.
think I
It's
don't
Connie
sometimes
is
it's
very
that
beautiful
simple.
herself.
Sometimes
No,
it's that
I
simple.
don't think that's
Sometimes
it.
it is. Yeah.
but the thing is I
Some
was
pretty
no
women
threat,
want to be the only pretty women in the room.
but I was no threat to Courtney at that time.
Yeah,
I was never
a
even a
pretty
threat to
woman
her.
is a threat to
So
another pretty woman. I got them in my family. I work with them. It's every pretty woman I've seen. My ex-wife, the woman I'm with now, every pretty woman has a some not a fugly, but one looks better than the other. Every beautiful woman is in shape at the gym. They always have the best friend who's overweight.
it's
I've
very
seen it
difficult
time
to
and
get
I think they feel comfortable with somebody. They don't have any competition, even if it's just coming onto a panel discussing a topic. I think it's sometimes it's that petty, that simple. It really is. I think it's. And I think deep down inside you know that, but you're just being very polite and you're being cordial. And I know you want to be respectful, but deep down inside, sometimes it can be just that simple. She
Well,
feels like your
yeah,
competition, men are coming in here and you're taking
yeah.
her attention away from her. It's just as simple as that.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Yeah,
but
you
does anybody
disagree with
else?
me. That's just my
America, can I say
opinion.
something?
That's just my opinion.
Yes,
That
Mr.
that's
Truth.
all.
Mr. Truth.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Um,
salam wa rahmatullahi wa
it's
barakatuh.
salam, my sister. it's listen. It's just because if you're not black, they don't like people outside race giving them constructive criticism.
Boom.
You understand what I'm saying? Like if a white man says something about black people, his opinion is not valid because he's not black. And see, because you're not black, they fear your constructive criticism, even though it's the truth of what you say. So that's a lot of times why they have a problem with if you say well I don't act like this and I don't do this and you supposed to be like, well, we all women, but you like, no, I act like this because of the culture you was raised from. So that's a lot of their problems. But the number one majority problem with black women is that, number one, they don't listen. Number two, they run wild and they want you to accept everything that they bring to you. So that's a number one thing. So when
I
you say things on that panel, I mean you be cutting them deep. I mean you be cutting them to the bone, and it makes them so mad because you're a woman.
I
Um,
hate
okay, this
I
is
hate
Go ahead.
I
What you
just
about to say?
really hate, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like this is something that needed to be spoken about, and which I am glad that the chat brought it up. I am glad it is because it is. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary. Here I'm gonna mute some mics for a second, okay, guys, just for background noise. Um, we're coming up here on the 1 year anniversary of what happened and me joining the Lapeef Network. But I just want us to um, not make someone who's not here the topic of the channel of the show because she's not here to defend herself, and I would like her to be able to speak out for herself. You know what I mean? Because
can I say
I haven't
something
even
real
had a
quick?
chance to speak with her about anything. I haven't had a chance. And hopefully one day we will be able to talk and maybe she will be able to say what she actually felt and who
Right.
knows. But right now
But I
we're
mean,
not
but
there yet.
listen. I can ask these brothers right here. And this is my opinion. I got three boys, right? And it's sad to say. I mean, the way all women act today. Do you really want your kids dating black women?
Come
I mean,
on,
this
man.
is this is a question for the brothers. Are
Hey,
you?
man.
I mean, the
Now,
way these women are today. Are you really? Do you really want your son to bring that home?
hell
Are you
yeah.
being specific about American women or worldwide?
Yeah.
It don't matter. I still
No, no,
I
want
no.
my
don't
I'm
son
want
just.
to
them.
I'm
date.
saying. I'm saying American.
I
American
don't have
black
any
women.
sons. I have a daughter. I
Uh,
don't have any sons, but I have nephews in America, and I would prefer them if they want to be with black women to go to other countries, because black women are different from. I'm a boomer. I'm 59 years old. When I was younger, it wasn't a utopia. I'm not going to front like it was, but the whole fabric of black communities really kind of gone down. And I don't want them getting with any women in America, no
right.
matter what the color was. They could be black, white, Asian,
I agree with
Latina.
that.
I prefer them to go to other countries
Not
because
now.
the women are more
I,
traditional and they treat men better. It's not a stereotype.
I
I've
agree.
been to
I
many
agree with you.
countries.
I agree with you on that.
It's
I
the
agree with you on
culture.
that.
It's the culture's better. So I can't control them. My nephews are all over 18 now, so they're grown men. But I tried to implore them to get a passport and travel, because if they get somebody pregnant in America, or if they get married, it's just going to be bad all around. Those women weren't raised to be wives or
But
mothers, and I'm not talking about the whole country, not just Black American, just American women. I'm making a generalized statement.
Western women.
I guess I should say most, because if I come on there saying, "Oh, I'm going to get crucified to the cross and get nailed to the cross," so I got to say, I have to say the
Hold on. We
PC
can't.
answer
Hold on. We can't.
most.
Hold on. Hold on. We can't say. We
I
can't say
can't say
Western.
all.
Hold on. We can't say all Western women because there's a lot of Western
I
women
won't
that
have to.
still come from
I
old
know
cultures.
someone's gonna come on a panel. Someone's gonna be saying, no, not all now. So in general terms, I'm
No, no,
old
no, no,
enough to
no, 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 no.
remember. I'm
What
old
I'm
enough
saying.
to
No, what I'm saying
remember.
is.
Yes, I'm listening.
No, no. What I'm saying is not. I'm just saying. I'm talking about Pacific Black modern women. Would you allow them to date them?
They're all over 18. I can't stop my nephews from doing anything. They're grown men. Would I like it? If they can find one that was decent, if they can find one that's respectful
Okay,
and knows how to be a wife and a
Right.
mother to future, then I'm okay with it. But
let me,
they're all
let me,
grown men. I may not like it, but they're grown men. I have to respect them as men. Me
Ameera.
personally, what I think will
Guys,
be
this is
disrespecting them if I say don't do that. But I personally,
this
I kind of
conversation.
hope they get women from other
Ameera.
countries.
This the question, Mr. Truth R, is kind of a question that is it's not
But
it's really wrong to ask it that way, in my view. I understand what you're trying to say, but the way that you're asking it is making it seem like a whole race of women are not something just because of maybe what you have
I
seen
liked
from
how
them.
you
Oh
answered the
no, no,
question.
it's
I
majority.
It's
It's
okay
majority
with
of
Wait,
me.
black
wait,
women.
let me
It's
finish, guys.
majority. It's
Please let me
majority.
finish.
Amira,
Guys,
we
let
have
me
these
please,
conversations all the
please.
time offline. Black
I
men, we
understand.
talk
Please let
about
me
this
finish.
stuff all the time. So
Please let
it's
me
okay the
finish.
way you act.
Mr. Love, please let me finish. You guys got triggered a little bit. One
Sorry
moment.
about that.
What
Sorry
I
about that.
mean is when we're speaking about this is a more of a cultural issue, Western culture. And this is what Mr. Love was actually saying, Mr. R. And this is something I agree with, that you have to look at how the woman was raised, what kind of culture she was brought up in. If she was brought into this modern Western culture, she's going to be a modern Western woman. And that's more important than the color, the skin color of her. Do you know what I mean? So just calling out women because of her skin color and saying, would you like your son to be with her because of her skin tone, because she's black? That is improper. And it's you're
No, no,
not.
no, but no. Listen, what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Western women, but listen, what I'm saying. Do you see white women acting like that? Do you see Mexican women act like that?
yes,
Mr. Truth,
No. So you
Mr. Truth,
can't just say because it's Western women.
Mr. Truth, white women have their own set of issues that
thank you,
they do. No, they have a lot of manipulative, conniving ways. This
thank
is
you.
this is white women. They cry wolf, and
Yeah.
No, no,
they
no, no.
are
They
very
they
Well,
do,
manipulative.
but
let
one
me
They
thing they are, they
lie.
let me
submissive.
They
interject.
lie. They lie on
Let
you
me
big
interject
time.
because I think, Mr. Truth, what you're saying, in your own space and world, yes, you will be specific to the women that are in your likeness in your own ethnic group. But it's a Western problem perpetuated by the government and a whole other
Yes,
host
Janae.
of factors. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, everybody is going to be more critical of their own ethnic group, but these problems are rampant in the Western world. And like Mr. Love said, yeah, it's best to go to other countries and do all that, but you all men can't even do that, right? So even to answer your question, no, I am a first generation Nigerian American. Okay. I married a black American woman. I have a black son and a black daughter. What the hell I look like telling my son he can't marry a black woman because his daddy married a black woman? I'm going to teach him. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to fortify him. The reason I was able to do that is because who I am, if I pick a woman with a certain set of characteristics and a certain set of principles, I lead so she can just follow. So it's about teaching the right set of skills for the leader of the household to have. Because if you feel, even going to other countries and all stuff, if you got to do all of that, you got to remember that there are still principled women here, women that are willing to follow, but it's ultimately on us as the men to make the right decisions in women. So yeah, if you out here wifing up Instagram thoughts, you're gonna have a hard life.
No,
Okay. If you
no,
out here wifing up these girls that you DMing on IG, yeah, you're gonna have a hard life. But no, there are still tons of principled women or women that are
Say,
willing
Mike,
to follow. Yeah.
may I ask you a question? And if it's too personal, you don't have to answer me, okay? Because I don't want to get too personal. You sound like you got a wife that's perfect for you. Be honest. How many women you had to go through to find her?
So,
Was she easy to find, or how many women? How many relationships you had to go through until you found that perfect woman to be your wife and the mother of your sons.
So interestingly enough,
It's like a needle in a haystack.
He doesn't have to answer it. I mean, it's a personal question.
No.
You know,
That's no. You're speaking true facts. It's extremely. Excuse me.
because I'm thinking it's extremely difficult.
Excuse me 1 second. So
All right, no problem.
Hey, Mr. Love, you right, man. You right.
Call
Like
me Marcus. Call
you,
me Marcus, man.
I just
I'm
like
older
one
than all
person to
y'all. Y'all
take
make me
that
feel
one
like
example.
my
Can I
father's
ask you guys a
And
question? Mr. Marcus
yes,
and
sir.
Truth, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, what make you think that the men in the Western world is good for those that are outside, those women that are outside, that if they get
That's a
those
good
women,
question. That's a good
okay.
question.
So
That's a
if
good.
men in
Yeah.
America raised in this culture here, what do
Yeah.
you think that they can maintain those women that are outside, or they're going to bring them in thinking, okay, and then they say, don't worry, baby, do whatever you want to do. Then once that woman get used to doing whatever she want to do because she's no longer in her culture. Are
Oh.
you getting what I'm
You
saying?
mean
So what's the
bringing her
point of
back to
bring?
America and she gets Americanized or Westernized?
She's going to be. So are you willing to move to her country and marry and stay in that
I
culture?
did. I moved to
So
Kenya.
1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Definite G, I see you trying to come in, but it looks like your internet is unstable. It looks like your internet is really unstable. I'm gonna try to bring you in and see what happens. Hopefully, it works out, guys. I
That's a
want
good
to ask you
question,
guys a
Mr.
question
Williams.
just to get your views on what the actual topic of the show is, and that was about the 666, the woman always wanting the six-figure man, 6 foot tall, and 6 inches of intimacy. Um, God, I feel so embarrassed.
okay.
Right. So yeah, I wanted to ask you guys about that. I wanted to see what is your views on the majority of women who are asking for this tall, dark, and handsome 666 men
They asking
are
for the mark of the
average.
beast.
They're average
I
usually.
don't have it for them. I don't have the 666. That's the mark of the beast.
I think
I'm being facetious. It's not the women can want what they want, but they also have to respect us as collective men. We want what we want too. We want women who are going to be feminine, submissive, and cooperative. And you, Ameera, seem to be like that. So that's what we want.
This
I
is
don't think any
typically
man
what
on this
Timothy
panel would
Samuel
disagree with me.
you,
We
would
want you to
say.
be
yeah.
feminine, submissive, and cooperative.
So
That's
I'll
the bare
say,
minimum.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that the 666 is a fantasy. And the reason why we completely entertain this argument against the statistics that exist. How many men are over 6 foot in the world? Isn't it a small percentage? Isn't the average height 5'9", 5'10" at
I
most?
think it's
So it's like
15%.
That's true.
exactly. Look at the
Yeah.
small percentage of people, anyone, black, white, or
I'm
otherwise,
6'1" and
that make
I'm in
six
the
figures.
15%. Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
Look at so we continue to entertain this against the statistics. So if a woman wants to be married, you need to understand in your mind, do not play around with those hard limits, those numbers, and miss out on a good man
And
or a good
thank you,
relationship.
guys. Thank you, Sarah, because the men, I asked you guys what women want, and men went straight to, well, we want a feminine, submissive woman. And I didn't ask you about that. I asked you about what
Women
women
want to be
want.
taken care of.
Oh,
Women
well, I
want
thought I was talking about
security,
that.
and women want to be
No, I was
protected.
talking about Mr. Williamson.
Oh,
Sorry, Mr. Williamson.
That's what
I'm
women
talking
want.
to
Women
you.
want security.
what I
They
do?
want to. They want you to make them feel loved, and
What I
women
do,
love what you
Amir?
do for
well,
them.
I really gotta be honest,
That's
guys.
what they
Women have
want.
no idea what they want.
You can't say
Listen,
that, Mr. Mike. You cannot say that.
women have no idea what they want. I heard. Let me get the quote straight. It was one of my OGs told me, "Rare is the woman that knows what she wants after she realizes what she's asking for." So women don't know what they want. As soon as they get what they want, they will change it. It's not enough
Right.
for them. It's not fulfilling them. It's not keeping them happy. It's not all, and they will change it. Men need to
Or
worry about what it is that we want. and they will just
Well,
follow.
well, most
because
of,
it's
most of the women live in the Disney fairy tale. They want to
Exactly.
be in love, and all they want
They
you to
don't know
love
what they
them,
want.
and you gonna love her for the rest of your life, and all that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? You know, you go listen.
You guys see
If
that?
a man making that type of money, a woman has to know that he has to share with another woman, because he's not gonna be just completely into her. Especially
Any
a man
man that
making that type of money. So
any man that thinks a woman knows what she wants, ask her what she wants for dinner tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
wait,
but Mike,
wait.
what I'm
Mr.
saying is, I
Mr.
don't care
Marcus,
what she wants. I give her
Mr.
what she
Love,
needs: love
Mr.
and
Love,
protection. All right,
Mr.
sorry,
Love.
I'm muting.
One
I'm muting.
moment. I know it's hard for you guys to hear me, but look. I brought this up earlier that women want the whole 666, and I spoke about living the high millionaire lifestyle and how. I mean, happiness doesn't come with that. People are saying, "Oh, it's nicer to cry in a Bentley than it is to cry in a Honda." Like I said, I don't agree with that, and not saying that I've ever cried in my Bentley. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's all the women who say that they want this life, they want this, but is that really what matters? Because this is the thing. I see a lot of women wanting things that don't matter. You want the man to be 6 foot. What does that mean for the future? What does that mean? How are you going to take care of him? He's 6 foot. What does that mean for you? What are you going to give him for being 6 foot? You want him to have 6 figures. What are you going to give him for earning 6 figures? What are you going to offer said man? Do you offer a
right,
man more
but
than any other one? 1 minute, Mr. Truth. Do you offer a
oh no,
man
go ahead.
more than what another woman would offer?
Ameera, maybe you should have a woman on the panel. I'm going to regret saying that, but because you keep asking us and we're telling you, but
Well,
maybe
this is
our answer
supposed
is
to be
not good
primarily a
enough for
women's
you.
show. They just don't
This
come
is
up.
the problem.
I care what a woman
Women.
needs. They need to be protected and loved. What they want, I can give it there. If she wants a millionaire, let her go make it herself.
Well,
I give her what she needs. What
Women in
she
the chat.
wants,
The men
she's
are
gonna handle
calling
it.
you
But I
out.
think you should have a woman on the panel and ask her directly. And please have her cam up because
Women refuse to come
they
on. I even
they talk so much
offered.
smack in the chat, but they won't want to cam up. If they
I
do cam
even
up, they don't want to show
offered,
their face.
Mr. Marcus, I
But
even offered that they can come on and not show their face, and they
Okay.
still are not showing up.
but tell them, Murray, if a man making that type of money, is that woman gonna be willing to share that man?
That's
To
right.
share
Because he's
the
Thank
not
you.
man?
gonna.
Come on, man.
Thank
Come
you.
No,
on.
Thank you.
she's gonna have to be willing to share that man because
They can't
he's
even
not gonna
cam
be
up,
just
so don't give
interested
them
in
what
just
they
you.
want.
So you're saying that if she gets a man who's a millionaire, she's gonna have to share him.
I'm not a millionaire,
Of course,
and it
of
can still be
course.
like that. I'm
yeah.
nowhere near
Hey,
being a
listen,
millionaire.
Mary. One of the problems that
I
we
go
have
one point
is
at a time. I can
we
be
we
with you.
always
I'm just
say
saying
like
some
a
guys
woman
cannot
say
take
this
Wait, one
spotlight.
at
this
a
man
time,
cheated,
guys.
this man
Mr. Marcus,
cheated on
let
me,
him speak.
right?
Hmm. Go ahead.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying another one of our problems is they always but
His energy
but
is so
what
bad.
who likes eating the same thing every day? I don't want to eat chicken Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I might want some steak Tuesday. I might want some fish Wednesday. So that's how,
Just all right,
Mr.
brother.
Truth,
Don't let steak know
no.
that you're eating fish, okay?
Well, that's
No,
what you
no,
guys
no pun
thinking with your
intended.
lower heads. You're thinking with your lower
Yes,
head,
we
and that's
are,
not what
and we
marriage and
always
relationships
do.
are about. It's not about
Yes, it is.
eating
Yes,
every
it
day.
is. I'm a
You,
little
oh, Mr.
older than
Marcus says
you.
yes, it is.
Yeah, let me
Why?
say something about the
No, I'm a
topic. I
little
want to,
no.
yeah, I
With
want
all
to say
due
something about the
respect,
So
topic real
let's
with
hear
quick.
all due
Definite G.
respect,
Let's hear Definite G.
I'm
Let's
on my
get definite,
second
Mr.
wife.
Definite
Yes,
G. Please
we
join us.
always think with our little head. We won't tell you that, but we always think with that. That's why we want you to look beautiful for us and to be kind to us because we do think with that little head, or at
Mr.
least we have
Definite
a.
G. Let
Yes,
me
we
get
do
Mr.
think with
Definite
it.
G to come in, Mr. Love. Definite
Good.
G,
I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be
please,
cool.
please, sir.
Yeah,
Definite
like
G.
first off, I have to say this, like, fellas, we got to stay on topic. Like, I know, like, we were talking about black hair and stuff like that, but black women were not the subject of the show. It was about the
No,
666. So
it was
we
about the
gotta we
666.
gotta stay on topic.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, it was a difference, but going back on the topic, but we got to stay on topic. But yeah, I'm not gonna be here for long. But like, yeah, the 666 is just more of the perception. I mean, like, yes, like having all those qualities would be at least perceptually look nice. But I've seen 6 foot dudes that are lame. I've seen broke simps or the rich simps, I should say. So really, like, it's really comes down to, like, again, like I said this before, women don't really know what they want. They like the perception of it, but they don't know what that really comes along with that. Amira, you explained that, like, with, men who live that lifestyle, you're not going to be spending that much time with him because he's going to be working and trying to make sure that he maintains his, social position.
He's always working.
So that's really what, yeah, he's always working. He's always he's always grinding it out, and they don't they don't know the reality. So that's really it is. It's just a perception that they're really falling in love with, which they need to come back down to earth and actually know what it really takes to keep that man around. So
Yeah,
that's all I want to say.
You're speaking
Yeah,
facts.
and I'm gonna.
Thank you, Mr. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to that.
Hold on. What is
gonna
a
dip
rich
off.
simp?
Yeah.
What is a rich simp?
Yeah.
What is that?
Sir, why are you screaming?
A rich
Yeah,
simp.
Yeah, what is a
rich
rich
simp?
simp? I've not even heard. What is that? I want explain that to me. Yeah, a rich
What's
simp.
that, dude?
Sir, why
They're
are
called
you
tricks too. We call them tricks. They have many names.
A rich simp.
Yeah, but
Okay,
what is? Hold on. What is a rich
somebody,
simp? I gotta hit
if I
this.
can name somebody real quick, I would say PJ Washington, but
Hold
I don't know
on.
if he's
Don't
rich
name
yet.
me somebody that you don't know. Are you gonna name somebody that you don't know?
We know. Why would we name the people
Well,
we
they're
Give
do
me
rich.
your
know?
I'm not rich.
definition. Don't give me no celebrity that
Well,
you don't
I'm not
know.
rich.
Tell me your definition of a rich
I'm
simp.
not rich, so I don't
So
know
hold on. What
anybody
is a
personally
rich
who's
simp?
rich.
So why
PJ
would you say
Washington
that?
is one of them.
Here we go. Here we go.
He didn't
This is
vet.
what
He
I do.
didn't.
Us as people, we talk about people that we don't even know. Never met this person, but he a rich simp. Man, this is crazy.
I
But
know a
there
lot
are
of
All right,
rich
go ahead.
examples of
I'm
people
done.
Meanwhile,
who
let's
are
get back
I
rich,
to
know
the
a lot of
topic.
rich
who
simps.
has.
We're gonna get
But
back to the
anyways, yeah, I didn't want to even go
666.
on that.
Hold
Like,
on,
you
definitely.
just
I'll do
saying
that
So
for
we're
you.
not
weird stuff.
talking
But
about rich simps. We're talking
yeah,
about
I'm gonna dip off
666 and
because
what
I just
women
wanted to
want.
just say that and dip off. I'm not gonna be here for long.
Nah,
But
let me answer
Don't
your
dip
you guys
question.
have
off.
a
Let
nice
me
Stay
answer your
show.
on.
question.
Stay on.
Have a good
Stay
one, Ameera.
on.
Thank
What
you.
was
Thank you,
gonna
Mr.
Have a
come
good
to
one.
Mr.
you
Marcus,
already?
Mr. Love, please.
All right.
One
So,
moment.
truth. A rich
Definitely.
simp.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Definitely. Were you trying to drop down or you? Oh, there. That was my answer. Mr. Devil's Advocate, I haven't heard from you yet. I'm sorry. Can you unmute yourself or turn on your mic?
You guys hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sweet.
Welcome, brother.
Right. I was just listening to you guys, and I just wanted to pull it back to the 666 rule. I just see a couple problems at play here, and you guys can chime in. There's two or three main ones. One is monogamy. It can't really coexist with hypergamy, and hypergamy is not going anywhere. And there's a caveat. The caveat is without shame or religion, because there has to be a tool to get women to act that's like not in their nature. Are you laughing at a comment, or did
That is
I?
nothing but tea, guys. I do not drink alcohol. No, that is nothing but
Oh,
tea. Please.
I thought it was my point. I'm like, oh, we're gonna. I thought you would agree, but
Sorry, Mr. Advocate.
no. So I mean, what would you say to that? The monogamy can't exist while hypergamy exists, especially when we deconstructed religion, because now everyone thinks that it's not important because of science, when really religion was created to control human instincts,
Nature.
their animalistic urges. It doesn't matter if religion was created by man or God, it's what was it created for. And
do you want me to
go ahead.
answer?
Yeah.
You were talking about monogamy. Monogamy cannot exist if hypergamy exists. Hypergamy and monogamy, that they're not two contradicting things. That doesn't mean that a hypergamous woman needs to have. I see what you mean now. I see what you mean.
That's
because
why I added the
hypergamous
caveat.
woman is always looking for that 1% guy, right?
Mhm.
And that
Yeah.
1% guy is not many. So that means you
And that
cannot be
1% guy wants
monogamous.
to get as much as he can
Now I
get.
get it. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
And
thinking the population. Go ahead.
And I added an important caveat, and that's in the absence of shame and religion, because, women, I mean, one of the most powerful tools, like they don't want to be ostracized. And so back when there was shame from the brothers and fathers of their family, I mean, even just 50, 80 years ago, they acted very different than they do now. And the only difference is we've added social media and removed shame. Feminism has done a great job of that.
Feminism is and removal of the males from the home.
Yeah. Yep. And
So you think? Hold on. You think every man should have 2 wives?
I
What?
didn't say that.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. So you take the Bible and the Bible and stuff. So I mean, do you believe in that?
Well, that's the thing is I'm not here to argue about whether I believe in religion or not. It's what was it created for, and is there a use for what whoever created it was trying to do? And I think there is a use for it because now we're seeing things fall apart in its absence.
Yeah. So I agree with everything you really said, and you're just giving a lot of good context to what we're talking about because it is the removal of shame, and like I said, it's the removal of the patriarch in the home. If you need evidence of that, look at every ethnic group that doesn't suffer from what some of the Western cultures suffer from.
Gentlemen, I need you guys to hold on 1 second and save your energy for the 2 women that we had show up in the studio.
Let's get it. Ooh.
We are going to open up the studio for Mrs. Janae and Mrs. Anita Carter. Welcome in, ladies. Welcome in.
Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Hello. How are you women
We
doing?
had one camera.
Good. I hear you well. I hope your audio is better than last time because last time we were having some audio issues on your end. Looks like it's not. Okay. Well, we're going to try either way. Janae, Miss Janae, how are you, Janae?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you get closer to your mic?
Okay, is this better?
Nope.
No, not really. I was trying to say yes, but no, not really.
Sorry, I'm in my car. I was trying to wait. Maybe I'll I'm almost home, but maybe I'll call back on my Bluetooth because I know the sound is kind of weird because my phone is charging.
Okay. Okay, then. Call us right back when you get home. Miss Anita Carter, do you have anything on the topic?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? I can barely hear you guys.
I can hear you. We'll try to speak up a little bit.
Great.
I hear you.
I just came up on the panel because I guess people had questions. So they said more women should come up to the panel. So
Yes.
I was willing to come up to the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
is there
ma'am.
anything that you have on the actual topic right now? Like, do you want to respond to any of the topics that we brought up?
Well,
whether it be
I said in the chat. Excuse me, I'm on live. Thank you, son. Excuse me. That's my son, mommy first, Okay, so I don't believe in the 666 thing that you're telling about. Like most Black women want. I don't think so.
not Black women, just women.
And I think that as women and men, we all have our place or our roles. Like I said in the chat, in marriage, and the Bible outlines that for us. And I believe that as long as we go through that route, that everyone would be okay. God has made someone for everyone. At least that's my opinion. And I had another question. You were talking about the smell of people's hair, but do your hair smell like bologna, or does your hair smell like wet dog when you wash it? When you're fresh
Typically,
out
it
the
smells
shower?
like wet goat when I'm dirty.
Oh, no. I said when you're fresh out the shower. What? Because they say, I mean, it must stink, or I don't know. I don't have that issue.
He is not white.
I'm not white.
She's not Caucasian.
What?
Her name is
Ameera. He is not white. He is not white, man.
I'm not
You
white.
just gonna prove everything
that
everybody says, right?
That insult doesn't work with me. I'm sorry. That
I wasn't
insult
trying to
doesn't
insult you, honey.
What did I tell you, Ameera? What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
She's more African than you think. She's from a country right above Africa.
She might be closer related to the ancestors than you are.
Thank you.
Mr. Marcus, was I lying? Was I lying?
No, you weren't lying.
You guys
came
scared
on
her.
to
I was about to say,
what did
Ameera,
time out. Ameera, what did I tell you 10, 15 minutes ago? You're pretty. It made her feel threatened, and she couldn't wait to insult you. She wasn't even on topic. She came on asking you, do your hair smell like a wet dog when it's wet? See what I'm saying?
Let's take some more of the brothers.
She just proved my point. If she was petty, she couldn't stick with the topic. If you were 400 pounds and physically...
And let's make note of this. Let's make note of her age.
Calling you Yas Queen. But
Let's make note of her age.
You're beautiful, and she couldn't wait to insult you.
She came back.
That lady is
No. In her defense, she came back. So stop. Let's not say too much. She
Yes.
Okay,
First
Miss
of all,
I'll say it.
first
We'll
of all,
say it
I'm
though.
very
be
confident in the way I
respectful.
look.
Stay on
I
the
am an
topic.
African
Stay on the
American woman, and
topic,
I am
ma'am.
gorgeous. I am fine. Do you see?
Thank
Like
you.
I'm
The
thinking, you know what,
But
you
marketplace
guys,
so
what I
determines your
still got
value.
going on,
it's
and
in
I
poor
never
taste
have a
to
problem,
insult the
honey.
One minute,
lady.
Ameera
Mr.
is a
Marcus.
beautiful
Let
woman,
Mr.
but because I am a beautiful woman, I can appreciate another beautiful woman. It has nothing to do with that. There's beautiful women in every color, every culture. Believe
But
that.
she's not
Believe
white.
that.
You
But
said
I'm
she smell like a wet
confident.
dog.
Never ugly. Never, never ugly. Okay. Never have I ever been called ugly. Never, never.
How
And
do
you
how
need
do
to
you know
stop doing
that?
that. Don't insult yourself. Don't put the way you think about yourself on other people. Please don't do that. And I have a husband too. Been married for 16 years. You know what I'm saying? Look at my little cutie, right? And they got my kids, and
You
I have
look
my
kind
own
of young.
business. It's not about that. As if people want women to come up here and speak on the chat, let's all encourage each other. We don't have to put no one down. So I did that as an example, not because I was trying to be a bitch or because I was trying to be funny about something. Not at all. I was just trying to get her to see how would she feel if someone said that. I'm not ignorant. I'm very
Miss
educated.
Anita, Miss
Very
Anita. I
educated,
hope
very
you,
smart. I speak three
Miss
different
Anita.
languages,
One
okay?
moment, Miss Anita. I did not say that black women's hair, when
Go
they're fresh
ahead.
out of the shower, smells stinky. That's not what I
No, no,
said.
no, no. What you was talking about was their weaves or something like that. And not every black woman wears weaves.
I
I
never
mean, I
said
don't have
that.
to.
I never
I mean,
said
I
that
don't have
either.
to. Shut up, boy. Shut up, boy. Shut up, boy. I'm so sorry. That's my son.
Amira, is this staged? Like,
You
Yeah,
make
it
it look
is.
like this.
It must be.
This,
Why are you trying to be funny like it's
ooh,
supposed to be staged or something?
it's not.
You know?
It's not staged.
Huh? Oh
We're
yeah,
all being
my
very
husband, he did.
respectful,
But
ma'am.
I'm right
Please
now. I'm
to
on a live chat. You want to say
continue.
hi? You want
No,
to say hi?
ma'am.
I said I'm
Please,
on a live
please
Say
chat.
hi to
continue.
who? No,
We're
ma'am. We
You
want
want
to
to
being
say
speak
hi?
to you.
respectful.
Say hi.
We want to speak
It's
to you.
okay. It's okay.
Miss Anita
It's
We're
Carter.
all
okay, honey.
listening.
Yes. Yeah, I am. I am gonna go later on.
Oh my
I'm on live
gosh.
chat right now. So
Amira,
okay, sorry about that.
Amira,
Hello,
you
sorry
Yes.
see
about that, you
how
guys.
desperate
Like I
you are
said,
to find
I do
any
run my
woman
own
on this
business,
continent?
Hold on.
and I
This
have
what
to
you
check
get.
on
Hold
everybody.
on.
I
Okay,
just,
Let's
so
can
I
we can
just
we can we
I
want.
didn't
not
hear
go
nothing you guys
off
were
on
saying.
this like defending our like let's stay on topic because we were just making progress. Some
yeah.
good points
Thank
were
you.
made,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
and
Stay
Thank
then
on
you, Mr.
we
topic.
got
Devil's
in like a
Advocate.
little grudge match.
I know,
Okay.
and I don't understand. Like, this is, it threw off the topic completely because it turned
Mhm.
into let's talk about smells, and it's like
Yeah.
that's not even
I
the point
knew
that
it
I
would
was trying to
Can
make.
happen.
I?
I knew it would happen. That's
Yeah.
why I
Can I?
wanted the woman to come on
I'll
the
speak on
panel.
that. I don't have
Just
a
to
dog
prove
in
a
the
point.
fight, but like as far as what I saw, I mean, Amira made it stated a general fact. If you put anything on anyone's head for an extended period of time, we're human beings. We have cells that die and are supposed to go somewhere. If you cover our skin, it could be a band-aid. It'll start to stink. Period. Okay. So it's not specific to black women, but we do have a culture that unfortunately has black women convinced that they need or should have fake hair to look beautiful. There's a beauty standard, right? That's a good argument.
Yep,
And so,
what I was
because they
trying to
wear
say.
those weaves at higher rates for longer periods of time, combine that with being of lower socioeconomic success compared to other races for reasons we don't have to get into, they do have weaves at higher rates and they do wear them for longer periods of time because it's expensive to replace them every week or however often they're, you know, supposed to. So I think it was an accurate generalization if you look at facts.
That's what I
But
was
yes,
trying
you're
to
right.
say.
It would be inappropriate to say all, and I didn't hear Amir say all. If she did, I would be
Did
standing
not.
right there with you, you know, trying to check her, but she didn't. So
Amira, can I say something real quick?
Please, Mr. Williamson.
Okay. This goes back to what I said about Courtney. This had nothing to do with you personally, but it was as if you were attacking black women. So it has nothing to do with you personally. This is what I told you that where Courtney was coming from, it had nothing to do with you personally. It was you being there present, felt like that was okay. This is what black people are not, black women are not. So it was a personal attack
Hmm.
on black women. That's why Courtney felt the need to defend, you know, and find something wrong with your culture. That's
I,
so it had nothing to do with you. Just like she came in, it had nothing to do with you, but she thought that you actually went after black women. with their wig. You get what I'm saying?
I
So
understand.
that's what I'm saying.
Brother,
It had nothing to do with you.
I totally disagree. I respect what you're saying, but I
I
think
have
she
I
did
have
make
to
it
go open the
personal.
door. I'll be right
Okay.
back.
I
I need
think
to go
she
open the
did
door.
make it personal. I think she made it personal.
You think
Just
Courtney
No,
did or
based on
Ameera
the
did?
way she looks.
I agree with you, Mr. Marcus. I agree with you. I agree with you,
of course
brother.
you
It's
did,
the
Mr.
truth.
Truth.
It is
Of
what it
course you
is.
did.
So you think Courtney made it personal, right? Not Ameera?
Hmm? Because she felt Amir was making a personal attack
I
on
think
black
she
And
women.
took
she
it
wasn't.
personal. I don't think she was
Huh?
defending all black women. She took
No,
it
she was
personally
technically
herself.
talking about her culture, right? And Western women.
Yes.
But at that time, this supposed to be a black show according to them. So her bring coming on, the whole thing was about bringing different culture and see how it's different, right? So when they came on, it was like a personal attack on black. She had to defend the sister somehow. So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I
Well,
I
believe they
don't think
have
she
so
was
much in
defending black
common.
women. I think
They
she
have
took it
so much
personal.
in common.
I think
yeah,
she was just
and
defending herself. I don't think she gave a damn about a whole culture of women. I think she took it personal, and she was
Because she
mad, and it's
felt
simple as
this
that.
attack
Yeah.
was on her too because she's black. So if you're
Well,
attacking black
it
wait,
women,
boils
of
down
did you
to
say that the attack was on her? Did you say Ameera attacked Courtney with the general statement she made?
when did I say that?
You just said she attacked her.
No, I said
no.
she
He's
felt
saying
talking about black
Okay.
she
women.
thought that she
He
did.
he keeps he keeps repeating himself, and he's not always saying she thought or she felt. So sometimes it sounds like
Well, the only
okay.
thing
So
Mr. Williams and he and I disagree. Mr. Williams think she was defending the whole black race of women. I'm
Yes,
thinking she just took it
against
personal.
other
I
culture
don't think she gave a damn about other women. I thought she just took it personal herself. It was woman to woman. She felt the woman was more attractive than her, and she took it
No,
personal.
I
It,
don't
it, it
think
couldn't
that.
matter what the subject was talking about.
I think it
She was
has nothing to do with
prettier,
that.
and she came and she was mad. It's
so
sometimes
so
it's just that
Okay,
simple.
let me
All right,
ask
hold
you.
on,
Let me
y'all.
ask
Hold
you a
on.
question,
Hold on,
Miss
y'all. Hold
Anita.
on.
Miss
Hold on.
Anita. Miss
Hey,
Anita.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
stop it. The producer's
Now,
talking.
now,
Hold on,
did
y'all.
you
Who's that
actually
talking?
Williamson,
Who's that
Lapeef
talking?
is in here.
William.
He's talking. Let him talk, man.
William.
go ahead, Levy?
Hold on 1 second. I want to try to get the ladies in because the ladies haven't had the opportunity. What's going on, Miss Moore? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Ameera will be back. She had to walk away shortly, but she'll be back. So I'm gonna just hold it down while she had to step away for a second. But go ahead, Ms. Morris. What you want to add to this conversation?
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Oh, hey, first of all, good evening. I'm just trying to get to bed, but before I went to bed, I just heard all the commotion about there's a hatred towards black women and stuff like that. But first of all, I don't hate anybody. I just love people. That's all. And I love Ameera. Let me just get that straight. I love Ameera. I love her culture, different cultures. I study them. I admire them. I admire their beauty just like they admire theirs. Although there's some folks that really hate, let me just get it straight. I had a My mother works for a certain charter school called Harmony. I'm probably don't know what that school what that charter school is. Harmony School. It's a private charter school which a lot of students from different countries to America they want to get their education. And she had experience with Nigerians, Iranians, Pakistanians, any type of people from all different types of countries. She had no problem with connecting with them. And I just adore them. I just don't hate them. I just don't. That's all I had to say.
Okay. All right,
And
Hey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and about that natural hair, no one said anything about. She didn't mention anything about natural hair. She simply says scientifically that we have skin. Skin is the largest part of the body, and it has pores, right? So eventually, your skin will sweat. Your skin will stink if you don't wash daily. If you don't wash the way you're supposed to wash, you will stink, and it's not gonna be pretty. So basically, she's just telling the truth, and I'm not offended about it. She's just telling the truth. That's how I see it. And for the record, I'm not wearing no wigs. I never wear wigs or weasel. Not in my life. I'm sorry. That's just she's just telling the truth.
Okay. All right. So you said she's just telling the truth. Janae, you there?
Hi, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. What are your thoughts about the conversation?
First of all, devil's advocate, I feel like you just put that so well when you talked about the hair and all that. Like, literally, I was coming on here to just explain that, not in a defensive way, but I just think that Black women are so misunderstood on this topic. And I'm not someone who wears weave. I do like wear extensions, but I wash my hair every single week. Like I love to feel my scalp personally, so I'm not like a wig person or a weave person. But I understand the struggle, especially as a Black woman and a dark skinned Black woman. And I just feel like so many people don't. And so it's really uncomfortable when there's a panel of people who don't have a Black woman's experience, don't understand what it is like to be a Black woman in the world of beauty standards, in the world of like pressure and all that stuff, speaking so heavily about it and not really caring to understand. There's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of name calling, there's a lot of gaslighting. And I consider myself to be a very reasonable person. So I understand where everyone's coming from on both sides. But if you're wondering why women, Black women specifically, get so offended and so triggered by this topic, it's because it's never really approached in an understanding type of way. It's like we're made as a mockery or as a joke, and it's always like a laughing matter. And honestly, not everyone wears weaves and wigs because they hate their hair. A lot of the times, it grows a lot faster under a wig. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these women with beautiful, long, natural hair, it is because they've been wearing wigs consistently and not touching their hair. So just the topic of Black women's hair is just so complicated and so exhausting. And it's honestly really exhausting to listen to people who don't have that experience speak on it so in depth, respectfully to all of you, because I enjoy the show and I'm not like a man hating a feminist Black woman. And, you know, I respect the platform, so I'm not on here to offend anybody, but I'm just saying, like, it's just really exhausting to listen to. My goodness.
Hey, Zoe, you on mute, just so you know. I don't know if you were trying to say something. Everybody else mute up if you're not talking. We get some feedback. You're still on mute, Zoe. Your audio just not coming through. You're not on mute. All right. Anybody else want to respond to what Janae said?
Yes, I
No,
do agree with what Janae said. And sir, what is your name? Let me see here. Your name is Mr. Will E. Williamson.
yes, ma'am.
You were absolutely correct. I was defensive on the Black women. I was defending what I felt was Black women. And Mr. Love, no offense to you at all, because
Yes,
I'm not a
ma'am.
hateful person at all. But sir, may I finish, please? I I don't know why you would think, or well, I would feel like it's your opinion if you feel that Ameera is so pretty, but I believe that all women are pretty. I believe that there's beauty in each and every single person that there is. Am I intimidated by Ameera, the way she looks? Absolutely not. I mean, I'm beautiful the way I am. I am perfectly made according to the Bible. That is what it says, how God made me. I'm beautiful and perfect just the way I am. So I don't think, and I think, and it's just your opinion, just like my opinion. You know,
I wasn't
everyone
trying
has
to insult
opinions.
you.
And hey, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody got
I
one, right?
wasn't trying to
It
insult
doesn't
you, ma'am. I
necessarily
was
mean
just
that yours is
saying
right.
what
Doesn't
I've
necessarily mean that
observed
mine is right.
when two women come together, it usually like that. My father taught me there's no such thing as an ugly woman. Some just look better than others.
Well, then why would you
So,
say that? Oh, I think Ameera
but when
is so much prettier, or
women
that I
can
was
get catty.
intimidated by
He
her.
also taught me women can get catty with each other, and if one feels threatened, both of them could be beautiful. But if they feel threatened, she wants to be the only star in the room, the only bright star shining to get the male attention. If another beautiful woman comes in, some women get catty. I've seen it for years. So that's what I was saying. I wasn't being personal with you, but it does go down, and
Oh,
I've
I
seen it
believe
more
you.
times than often. Yeah, so I'm sure you've seen it also too. That women get catty. One looks pretty. They could both be gorgeous. They could be dimes, but they want the attention to among men, whether they're married or not. They have that biological need to get that male attention, and that's what I saw. That's what I see it
Mm.
from years. It wasn't a personal attack on your person, but that does go down.
Okay, okay,
So
but no, no,
I don't
that
want you to
wasn't.
be offended by that, though. But
Oh,
if you are offended, then I can't help that. But that is a fact. Women are like that.
yes, yes, that is true. I agree with you. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case this evening. And if I came off that way, that's not the way I intended to come off. I honestly was just coming up defending not just black women, but anyone who wears a weave. I just kind of feel like, why are we talking? Why are
You
people
asked her,
talking
does her
about
hair
people?
smell like a wet dog when it's wet? That's
Yeah,
what
I
you
know.
asked her.
Yes, I was being sarcastic.
It was catty and it was
I was
very
being very
petty. But you
sarcastic
know
and I was
what?
being very rude.
I took humor in it. I
Huh?
wasn't. I just it just proved my point. That's all. But I wasn't trying
No.
to personally go at you. I'm just saying that's how women are. I accept it. You personally as a person, I don't even know you. I'm sure you're an awesome woman. You know, you take care of your family, your man, and everything. But I'm just going how women are, not who you are, but what you are. You're women, so you guys are like that with each other. I've grown to accept it and just deal with it. I don't see men doing that, just women. So,
All
but
right,
I wasn't
appreciate
going at you personally, man.
But it's just
Okay,
so unfair
Miss
to
Carter. Miss
to
Carter, hold on
group
one
us
second. Hold
I
on
all.
one
I
know,
second.
believe
I
Hold
know,
on,
I
hold on
that's
one
how I'm
know,
second.
feeling like you're
I know.
grouping us all in
Nita,
one kind of like
No,
section.
no,
Nita,
it's.
And maybe I shouldn't be so defensive.
Marcus,
I
Lakeith's trying to
apologize for that
chime in
I'll
real
mute
language.
quick.
up.
Let
I'll
let
mute
him.
up.
Anita.
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on real tight.
I'm gonna drop Amira down for a second till she comes back. I want to get somebody else up in here. Let me get his thoughts, and I will bring Amira back. She'll be back shortly. What's going on, Terrell? I see you listening back there. You want to add something to this conversation?
Oh yeah, mine's mostly on the topic, like how she was talking about the 666 and women just want more. I think it's a man and woman thing because in Western culture, we've had it so good that we have like marketing, movies, and everything that tell us that we can have more and just keep wanting more and more and more. Like you can work the job, long period of hours, still have a family, still be a good parent, still this, and we always just want more with a car. If you get a brand new BMW with the leather seat, AC, this, oh no, now I want the new one with the faster engine. In the same way with relationships, even like with men, I want my wife to be able to have 3 kids, still be the same size she was before she had the kids, and it's just still wanting, like people said before, it's a fantasy that sold us into, because in the movies they got the woman. I can only speak from a man, but I think women see it like the same way. They want, I want this and that. Well, that's not natural. There's no way everybody can hit everything on it, and you just gotta find. And a lot of times, a lot of things you think you want, you really don't need. You find it a lot when you get older. I find it in
Yeah.
myself as I gotten older. A lot of things I think I wanted, like a BMW, a big house, all that. I don't even need it. I just want a small house with a garden in the back where I can grow my own food, and just a girl that's peaceful, that's peaceful, and yeah, not that shit. That's all I wanted to put out there.
So, can I ask you a question, Mr. Terrell?
Yeah.
Do you think it's affected women more or men more? I don't think it's equal. So, do you think it's affected women or men more?
It affected women more also because marketing is pushed on women more.
Yeah,
Women
I
are
agree.
affected by marketing more and they push it on women. And even when the feminist thing, because I think some women they try to make it feel bad if they want to be moms, but moms are important. Stay home moms are important because please let me talk on this. Stay at home moms monitor the children. If there was a problem at the school, they could call the house. The mom would come up to school and straighten out the kid. The mom would
Hmm.
also get to know the kids very well. That way, when dad came home, either she would deal with it or she'd say, "No, that boy up to something. You need to go do something." I don't know what it was. There was no he's creating bombs in the basement. Mom already knew something was going on. Plus,
Hmm.
the moms of the neighborhood got to know each other, even if they didn't like each other. It was a problem when the dads come home. You need to go down to Miss Johnson's house. There was an issue between the boys. We need to sort that out. There was no calling the police where somebody could get killed or something like that. It was more sense of community because the women would get together and the women helped build a community together. The men kind of would get together. Women are more social, and that's where the marketing women are marketing more and more, their minds are messed with more. And I think, oh, I'm trying not to go, I can go off on a lot. It's a lot of social psychology being done on us, and they try to make it look like something's not important. And that's why where you try to sometimes be something that you're not supposed to be, and it could drive you literally crazy.
So I got a follow up question
Yeah,
then for
yeah,
you,
go ahead, because
Terrell.
I wasn't really
Yeah,
prepared
yeah.
for this in my mind.
I see where you're going. So
Yeah.
my question is, and I think this is going to highlight maybe a difference in belief between us. You were saying that women are affected by marketing and media, which I agree. Social, they're more attuned to social forces. So like marketing, also shame, like I mentioned earlier, um, because they like to be in good social standing, whereas men, they're more willing to be like a lone wolf and outspoken. Um, so in terms of these effects on women, like you made a point about them being controlled by media, and I think that this 666 rule, it's something that's innate in them. So even if it wasn't for this media marketing to women, they're hypergamous, right? So media or not, and here's an example that I like to use. If all men, remember how women usually have this rule 6 foot plus, I see it on dating apps a lot too because I'm single. If all men grew a foot overnight and all men were now 6 foot to 7'6" or 8 feet, do you really think that all women would be happy? Hell no. 6 foot would be the new 5 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and they would seek out the top men. Same with
Yeah.
money. If everyone made 100K plus overnight more than what they make now, well, now BMWs are going to be the norm, and now they're really looking at who's going to have the Lambos.
Mm-hmm.
So like social pressure or not, I think women, and this is not to shit on women because it's caused men to evolve to be more intelligent and stronger and taller and faster over thousands of years because they keep breeding with the healthiest, tallest, strongest, smartest, best able to gather resources. So I mean it serves a good purpose for humanity, but
Mm-hmm.
we need to realize that it's not as simple as you know as chalking it up to be the media. And I think social media does amplify this effect, which is what makes it even harder for the average guy, because when my grandparents met, they were 19. My grandpa was a mailman. And, he was probably one of maybe 12 guys that were even her option. Whereas most women that are in her position now, 19 years old, not going to college, all they have to do is make an Instagram account and be in the average range of shape, and they're going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of options. So they get to be more selective. So I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to make sure you didn't think it was all media, because I think it's innate in women, and no matter how you slice society, they're always going to want the top, even if we made 100K more or grew a
Yeah.
foot overnight.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Mel.
I have a question about the 666 thing, because I understand that a lot of times when we're asking women questions about what they want and just asking them about their desire, and a lot of times they do say like 6 figures, 6 foot tall, but in reality, like in actual practice, do you guys think that women, on average, majority of women are overlooking men who are not 6 feet, not making 6 figures, and whatever
Yes.
else? Because what I see and when I'm walking around in daily life, there's a lot of women with average looking, average being men. Like I understand like when women, and I've been a victim of this, not a victim, but I've been like guilty of this too, of like if someone asks me what I want, I'm going to tell you, yeah, of course I want a man who's making a lot of money, but that definitely is not something that happens in practice, because a lot of women actually get emotionally involved with men who don't really meet all their standards, for lack of a better term. But when you ask them a question, of course they're going to say they want the best, but it's not always carried out in practice.
Yeah. So let me respond to that real quick. It goes into what Devil's Advocate was talking about
Y'all hear me
when
now?
he said, what did you say? You said hypergamy and monogamy can't live in the same, world. So
Yeah.
yes, we see women with these men, but their hypergamous nature
Or maybe my mic is really
affects the way that they're treating these average men that they're with. So you usually see men get treated poorly because the women are always seeking or, cheating with or entertaining the dude in their DMs that they think they
Yeah,
have a
good
chance
deal.
with. And another point I want to bring up is that he talked about like social media access. Women now have access to men they were never able to access before. And a man who does meet that 666 criteria will smash an average woman, which now makes her think she's on his level and she's not. So the dude that is marriageable, that's average, that will marry her, she has one foot out the door in a relationship with him because she's still smashing the 666 dude with no chance of ever getting a proposal from him. So yeah, we see it all the time, but this hypergamous nature really affects the way average men get treated in relationships.
So, Mike, what do you think we can do to remedy that? Is there a solution, or do we just throw the chessboard up in the air and take our ball
No,
and
so
go?
what it really is men. Men right now, I mean, they have tons of names for them, but it's about the choices we make and what we decide to put up with
Yeah,
or not.
that's what I'm
Women move
thinking.
by the behavior we dictate. So, like, men just start closing themselves off. Like, no, I won't date you. I'm not.
That's
I'm
right.
not anybody's charity case. Um,
Hmm.
and really, what you do see, unfortunately, in our community is people go where they're wanted. So it's funny to me when people talk about people dating outside their race and doing all. People are going to do what they can. Uh, Men by nature are going to pair off with women, especially after a certain age and after they've attained a certain level. You start moving around certain circles. You see the men. Like,
Hmm.
how many CEOs that aren't married? Or how many men that are in high achieving positions. So as you progress in your career, you want to look like the people who have something. So you're going to start choosing what's around you. And if it's no matter what the ethnic group, the race of woman, you're gonna go get
Well,
one.
it's
So
it's.
like,
I totally agree with that, but it's like earlier before. I really think that what women want is not that important. It's what they need. They want to be protected and provided for. Everything else is like extra gravy. It's like
I have
I stopped trying to make my woman happy years ago. The best I
mm,
can do is improve myself, and it's just like I'm going to borrow a quote from the late great comedian Patrice O'Neill. My happiness trickles down to her, and it's the
mhm,
truth. It is. I can give her what she needs. What she wants is like the weather; it changes every day, every day. You know, I
I have
can't
a
get off
question
my
as well
square and
though.
focus on how she's feeling all the time and what she wants. I give her what she needs. And
that's
it's so far so good. We're doing very well. We've been together for like a year now, and it's going great so far. I'm
yeah,
very optimistic about it. But like you say, it's like men get to a point. Everyone's not going to be a CEO making a seven-figure salary or a six-figure
you're right.
salary, but they're still men, and men want respect more than
Absolutely.
love.
No,
It
you
took
hit
me
the nail on the
years.
head. That's where men
My
go.
father told me that, and I didn't listen. But now that I'm older, I've it's the truth.
And you
It's
see
not
that
to
men
say a
date
lot.
I
down
have
and
a
look.
Yes,
I have
yes.
another I have another
And men
question
aren't
for the
getting that
men.
Go
respect.
ahead, Janae. Mr. Love, let's
Go
hear from
ahead, go
Janae.
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have another question for the men because I just wonder like, okay, so if what I'm hearing is that men who are average typically are not treated that well. They're not appreciated, right? And when I think about this, I think about like, could it be that maybe it's the women that these average men want? Because I just think, okay, women should be okay with an average man. Most people are average, whatever. The average salary is what it is in America. I'm not really sure what it is, maybe 45,000. I don't know, but people should be okay with being with average people. But then my question is, are men okay with being with average women? The average
Yes.
woman in America is a
Yes.
size 16. That's the average size.
Oh, geez, here we go.
A size
Legit.
Can I
16.
can I
No,
So,
respond to
size
that?
two.
well, wait,
My
wait,
wife's a
Let her
wait,
finish
size
the
two.
question.
Well, I
That's
mean,
that was for me.
you're asking a question, and then
wait.
you're making an argument. So go ahead.
We're gonna be
Um,
subjective as hell, just
Hold
like
on,
you
Marcus.
ladies
Let's
are.
let her
No,
finish.
I'm just
Go ahead,
saying
talk.
because
Size
honestly, a
two.
lot of there's a plenty of average women, maybe even slightly below average, depending on like what you feel like you are attracted to. There's plenty of women who are willing to treat men, any man, the way that he wants to be treated. I mean, I'm not saying that just because a woman looks above average, she should be like treating a man badly. But I also think that I've seen plenty of average men in
Okay.
relationships with women who maybe aren't like supermodel Instagram types,
Yeah.
but they
I
kind
think
of
it's
match each
getting
other.
circular. I get where you're going with this. I want to respond with a fact or two. So one fact to respond to your first point is that ever since they've been keeping track of the statistic, it's the worst it's ever been, and that is that between the ages of 18 and 30, over 30% of men are either a virgin or have not had sex in the past year. So combine that fact with women. This is compiled dating app statistics, and you can Google this. Women voted 80% of men as unattractive or below average, whereas men voted 50% of women as unattractive or below average. So I noticed a pattern that Janae, like, your mind is like mine. You're analytical and you're asking all the questions, coming at the problem from different potential angles. Could it be that men just won't settle? But the sad part about it is you're only ever giving women the benefit of the doubt. So in reality, the facts show that the average woman thinks that 80% of men are not attractive, because that's compiled dating app statistics. So that's raw honesty. That's not people pretending to be attracted to someone in person because they want to be politically correct. That's them alone in their room swiping and being completely honest about what they find attractive. And the numbers show that hypergamy exists, and even average women want men that are that they want to punch up above their weight. So your suggestion is actually the opposite of the truth. You have average women thinking that they're better than, or they're not attracted to 80% of the population, and you're saying that men should just settle. So, I mean, that would entail, if a man were to just pick someone who's willing to settle down with him, he would be picking someone who's, like, say he's more attractive than 80% of guys, speaking generally, he'd have to pick a woman that's more attractive than 50% of women. And
not necessarily. I mean, well,
I'm speaking very generally, but based on the facts that I gave. But go ahead. Sorry, Zoe.
I feel like I'm an average dude. I'm not a 6'6" guy. I'm broke as hell. I never have any. I'm broke and dusty. I'm not 6 feet. I'm almost there. I'm trying. I'm trying this year to get to 6 feet, but I'm almost there.
You still got room to grow.
6-pack this year. I got like a little 4-pack going. I'm almost 6'6". I swear to God, but I feel like girls. I feel like.
No, go ahead. I know where you're going with this.
I get the impression that girls tend to appreciate me for my personality and for my social skills more so than anything else. In that, if guys had these had the same social skills, that it wouldn't be so much of a difficult like it wouldn't be so easy for them to stay virgins. I think if you just know how to talk to girls a little bit, that you kind of get some new with. And I don't think I'm like casting over anything, but I think that plays as much of a role as trying to say it's hypergamy. I don't think Janae was asking the question from a point of like giving women the benefit of the doubt. It's just that she pointed out that, because what she pointed out that caught my attention was that there are men in relationships that did settle, and there are women in relationships that did settle, and that when you look at it, you it's not really all about the hypergamy if you have a way to deal with it. So there's people who know how to deal with hypergamy, and there's people who don't. At the end of the day, so no matter if the statistics say that there's 30% of men that are virgins, it's like, okay, like, what are they doing about it?
Yeah. I just want to respond to your first point.
You're trying to coach those guys into doing something about it instead of just living, to be
but
like.
What can they do about it when 80% of women don't even see them?
Oh, go ahead.
Go someplace where they're appreciated.
He's stacking 3 points.
The world's a
top
big
of
place.
Each other. I'd like to
respond.
The world's
a big place.
Let Devil's Advocate respond though. I did cut him off when he was already going to try to respond.
So what was the first point that he made? Because I want to respond to that second point now that has my attention. But when I first was trying to kind of cut in, I didn't mean to be rude, but I was trying to respond to your first point. And
I was a little bit long-winded.
Social skills. To the point remember. Sorry, I'm cutting off again. It was the social skills, and so I'm going to kind of give you your flowers. So just in the first 30 seconds of you speaking, you use self-deprecating humor. And that is actually no or anything, but that's actually very attractive to women. You joked about your shortcomings, and it takes a lot of social intelligence to be able to do that, to know your weaknesses and to be able to joke about it and communicate them effectively. And that's just one of many things that tie into attraction. So when I say things like those statistics, there's no perfect formula to know if you're attractive or not. But there are tons and tons and tons of X factors just like that. A lot of men are just sensitive about their shortcomings, or their height or their weight, or maybe they have no sense of humor, but I could tell right away that you're not, and that's probably why you do well. You do well with women for whatever your height, weight, income. The only point that I'm making is take your exact personality, your exact face, your exact body, add 9 inches to your height, and it's going to be easier for you. That's all.
Oh, I know that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying there's a surefire way to calculate attraction. But I already could pinpoint a couple reasons why you probably do well compared to other guys that are your height, and it has to do with your sense of humor and your willingness to know your shortcomings and criticize yourself, stuff like that. So that was my first point to your point about social skills. Go
May I
ahead.
ask you a question, Zoe?
Okay. Thank you, Devil's Advocate. I appreciate you.
How willing are you to expand your net to attract women? Are you going to stay in one city, one state within the United States, or are you willing to travel abroad and meet more women? Because the world's a big place. And
I've traveled abroad. I've been around the entire U.S. and some of the world. So I'm.
And what's your assessment on that? If you go to be with women in different cultures, women do like tall guys. They will.
Yeah.
They every place I've been, they all say the same thing. But you never let that stop you. I mean, it's like it's so subjective of what kind of women we want and what kind of women we need. Don't let anything hinder you. I mean, it doesn't matter if you think you're not tall enough. You work on. It's like just like I'm going to paraphrase what Devil Advocate said. Work on what you have.
I don't
Just
feel hindered
keep
by
at
it.
it. I stopped wanting to get every woman I see on the street decades ago. I've gotten to the point that I know what I like and I focus on it. I treat women like a project, like a job. If I really want it, I focus on it, and most of the time, yeah, I get what I want. But I can't have everything. I pick the woman that's best for me. The woman I'm with, she's beautiful to me. So some of you brothers on the panel, y'all might think she's toe up from the flow up. But to me, she's a dime piece. And that's all that matters, what the fuck I think she looks like. She's beautiful to me. I've never cared about what another man thinks about what my woman looks like. So I focus on that. I've always have, even when I was younger. So I do feel sorry for men that are in Generation Z, my nephews, and they're so addicted to on their phones and the dating apps and on Instagram that they don't have the skill. I love them and I respect them, but they don't have the skill to go out there and just push up on a woman that they want to talk to. It's frustrating to me. I can't make them learn that. It's another generation. So it frustrates me. I'm good. Personally, I'm good, but I worry about them. Who they're gonna date, if they want to get married, what kind of women are they gonna get in the United States? I really worry about them. And it's frustrating when I hear women say they want the 666. I'm like, come on, it's Disneyland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Come
I've been
on,
listening
man.
to
Come
you,
on,
gentlemen.
dude. Come on. And it's like
Marcus,
yes, all right. I'll chill.
I've been listening to you guys for a little bit now.
Yes, sir.
Men and women, they have their fault because men like younger women later on in their life. They get older, but they still like young women. Women themselves want to be with their man and just their man. They don't like to share their man. So when men decide to look young for younger women, they feel some type of way about that. That's why they start working. And women nature is, if I make this, the man either make this much more than me, or it's not going to work. So now she has the money. You get what I'm saying? She has the
I
money.
do.
So what she need you for? It is true when they say I don't need a man because they're making the bag right now. Because they feel if you're gonna cheat on them with another younger woman later down the road, why build that bond with you to begin with? That's why women start doing what they're doing. Now we hate it. But
Women have always done it, brother.
Men
It
has
just
always
wasn't. There just wasn't social media 150
hold on
years
now.
ago. Women have always been her
But
purpose.
we
Women have always gone through
but men
It
has
just
always,
wasn't. There just wasn't
Marcus,
social media
hold
150
on
years
now.
ago. Women have always been her
But
purpose.
we,
Women have
but
always gone to the.
but
Yes,
men
it
has
just wasn't.
always,
There just wasn't
Marcus,
social media
hold
150
on
years
now.
ago.
Thank you, OG. Okay, Marcus, I get what you're saying, but men has always been this reckless as well, because men reckless nature to keep looking for younger women, even with instead of just growing old with one, women feel some type of way, and they only stick around back then because they didn't have means to take care of themselves outside of that. Now they can.
Okay, can I
That's
respond to that?
Yeah,
why.
That's
but
a good point.
Williams, that's an excellent point what you said. But only thing I
Okay,
disagree with on is you saying that we're reckless. It's biological in me to want.
and it's in their own
I
nature.
can't.
So
Marcus, you're
why
The
we
lagging.
only
Just a
why
heads
reason
we
up.
I'm with the only reason no, pardon me. The only reason I'm with one woman because I choose to be monogamous. Being monogamous is not natural. I make myself do it. I'm a serial monogamist. I
okay?
go from one woman
Yeah.
to the next because I'm built like that. I cannot have one night stands. I'm not built like that. And
Yeah.
my reason is so shallow. You can laugh or whatever. I
Well,
know
I
if
got to
I
push
mess
Um,
with
back.
more than
That's
one
not
woman,
monogamy.
I was gonna push
If you're
back
going
too,
from that's
Marcus.
it's
monogamy.
not.
By
It
the
is
way,
monogamy.
if I'm talking over
I
you,
have to force myself
you're
to do it. But the older I get, the easier it
hold on.
becomes to be with
Hey,
one
Mr.
woman.
Love,
It's
can
because
we
your
let devil's
testosterone level
advocate?
goes down as you age, and it's easier. But also, Marcus, you're lagging like every 30 seconds. So if I talk over you, I'm
I
sorry.
heard the echo, and I muted
Yeah.
myself. So
Okay. No. Yeah. Your picture froze, and we couldn't hear you for a couple seconds. So sorry if that
I
happens, and I
muted
try and
myself.
chime in.
Yeah. I'll
Um.
mute myself and I listen to you talk, and then I'll respond and unmute.
Yeah. Yeah. Trigger. You wanted to say something real quick too, though, before I respond to E. Okay. So your main point was about monogamy and men acting kind of recklessly, but I would argue that, I mean, if you look at other cultures that's not just Western based and what Judeo-Christian, that it's perfectly normal for, like, if you look at the Muslim culture, women can easily be socialized and be happy with their family and have a husband with other wives. So I mean, your mindset seems to be coming from like a Christianity based frame anyways, because
No sir,
you
no
said
sir.
you called men having multiple partners or wives reckless, which
I never
is,
said that.
yeah, you did. You used the word reckless. You said
Uh,
men want to act reckless,
can I
and
can I
they're,
rephrase? Can I
go ahead,
rephrase what I
go
said?
ahead and rephrase it. That's fine.
Okay, what I meant was, you see how men get deal with, okay, they marry a wife, they're growing old with that wife. That woman is doing everything she can, right, for the family. But then he's still looking outside for younger women that might be younger than
Okay.
her, a little more prettier than her.
Yeah.
Now that's a problem,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
Because why is she putting up with all this?
No, you've made your
Before,
point, and I can see how that can cause problems. So,
so it has nothing to do with religion. And but let's just put
well,
it this way: should women in other culture, if they have the same right as they are no different from Western women. It's just their culture is suppressing them somehow right now. So don't make the
oh,
mistakes that
don't.
they happy. If they get a chance,
Well, and don't make the mistake of saying Muslim women aren't happy because their husband has other wives,
Exactly.
because that's
Thank
also
you.
so
you're doing the same
now
thing. But
now
can
if
I
you
I want to
ask,
respond
What
to
do
your
you
point
mean
because
it has nothing to do with religion? Oh,
yeah,
my bad. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, exactly. And my argument wasn't
if
against
you ask
religion. It
any
was just
woman if
some
they
of the
want to
world's
share their,
population. Hold on, some of the world's population has been socialized to operate from a monogamous mindset, and some haven't. I just wanted to highlight the portion that hasn't, because they're actually out. They outnumber the ones that have. But my main argument against your point is that this male nature, it's a feature. Men wanting younger women is a feature and not a bug of men. You're acting as if it's a bug. Sure, it might cause problems. It might cause a little bit of jealousy, but the reason why it's a feature and not a bug is because for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, being monogamous didn't matter. What mattered was how big was your tribe and how powerful was your tribe. And if the men just were monogamous and were limited to having one baby every 9 months, they would be immediately just decimated by another tribe who can maintain a higher population and grew like more in size. That was the name of the game back then. Is how big is your army, and do you want what the next tribe over has?
And devil's advocate, our nature hasn't changed all those years. I don't care how much technology advancements we had in technology. Our primal needs are still there.
Yep. So just
Williams is I suppress that. I suppress it. I'm with one woman. It's no. The older I get, the easier it gets to be with one woman. But do I still look and think about other women? Of course I do.
Well,
It's
yeah,
never going
my
to.
point. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my whole point is what we see in the Western world is women true nature.
Yeah,
there's no culture to suppress their true nature, right?
I would agree.
So if you remove culture from the other side, the same women that we're saying that they're happy and this and they will be doing the same thing. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just that we have laws that was protecting men and women from their true nature. Now we've removed some of that to an extent, and now we're both complaining.
Yeah, they like more power, especially if it comes with less responsibility.
Don't tell me it has anything to do with women from Western women only. Given the same opportunity, women from the other side, they'll be doing the same thing.
You're arguing against something I never said. I just said that it's.
I can make an argument.
Women all over the world are socialized to be perfectly fine with it, and they're not sitting there seething, resenting their husbands. Like they're happy, dutiful. I don't want to boil it down to being Muslim. Sorry, OG, you wanted to say something.
Okay, now
I can make an argument with that because he said it has nothing to do with that. Yes, it does. It's called social engineering, my brother. If you didn't know what social engineering is, regardless of if they release something or they take restrictions away or not, they take a restriction away from me right now. I'm not going to lay up with a man. So what I'm trying to say is it's part of the social engineer in this country as far as what you see. Let me just say something. I think a better question is, we all been asked this question, and I just like to say good evening to everybody on the panel. Marcus was with you last night on the panel, so salute to you, my brother. What I'm going to say that I think a better question to all of this is, you ask the woman, do a woman knows what she wants? I think every woman knows what she needs. I think when you start to get into the want thing, you get into a sticky situation. That's with women or men. So it's imprinted in our DNA, our needs. And you'll never go get away from that. That's why you can look like your great-great-grandmama, whatever, and you never met her before, and you have some of the same behaviors your great-great-grandmama had, and she died 5 years before you was ever born. There are things that's printed in our DNA, and that's one thing about science. We just opening the door to DNA and understanding exactly what it is. You got to understand God, the creator, regardless of what name you call him, Yahweh, Allah, Hare Krishna, Buddha, or whatever, the creator created everything with its own essence and its own biology and its own everything and its own nature. So I don't know why did we see a flock of birds or animals or anything that not have to go to any kind of university and they keep going on and on and on and on. Why is it for us? It's different because we have choice of thought. And so this is what get us in trouble. So I talk to a lot of women, even working in the strip clubs when I was early in my life, and I'm 63 years old now, but I mean my early days of my life. And even talking to some of them women that worked in the strip club, and once we got past this traumatic experience, and most of them had, they all wanted the same. They wanted the same thing from a need, not from an eyesight. And so when I hear guys saying, you hold yourself back from a lot of things, brothers, that you think you might want. Like me, I hold myself down from overeating. Another man might hold himself back, hold his nature back because he see money every day and he wants to take it, but he know that there's consequences from that. So there's a lot of things we restrain ourselves from our nature because everybody wants to be happy and have peace. And so if you believe that money gives you peace, you would do things in your life that would just turn a world upside down. So we got to look at the conditions that our women are in. And if we supposed to be the leaders, protectors, and the builders, how in the hell did they get this way? Answer that question.
What? Okay. We keep saying women don't know what they need, but they tell us one thing that they need, and we are saying it's man nature, so we can give that. And that is to be with one man, and that one man being with them. That's if you ask any woman from any culture, what they really want is for one man and that man to be just theirs. So whatever resource they have, they keep between themselves.
So
That's
why
what a
should I
woman
ask
really
somebody
needs.
something who's not going to tell me the truth, sir? I've been a Muslim for 47 years, and I've been all over this globe, and I have asked women, if you are born into something, you don't know anything differently. You got to understand that. Like we have a certain culture in the Western society that women are born into, men are born into. These people like covering head. I had to teach my wife that it was more presentable for her to cover her head. She wasn't born into that. But when she seen other women from the Middle East, she didn't have no problem trying to understand why they covered their head. So you got to understand the women, you know what? My daughter, who was raised up as a Muslim from the time she was in her crib, when she sees a woman without her head covered, she said, Dad, that ain't the woman for you. Because she has been raised that way. So how are you going to say that when you ask other women in other cultures, they're going to tell you something different?
I just want to highlight how they're not always honest as well, because if you ask most women in modern Western cultures, they'll say they want a man that they love, admire, and respect, to be monogamous with them. But if you look in their DMs, they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of men that are in the average range that would love nothing more than to be monogamous with them. But guess who they're holding out for? They're holding out for the best few guys they've ever interacted with that they have little to no chance of marrying. Usually.
One percenters.
Yep, exactly.
And he has more choices.
Devil's
and she
advocate,
know
that's
that from
their
the
nature,
beginning.
and that's their nature to do that.
Because they like power. You got to understand.
There's nothing wrong
We
with
see
that.
power as
That's the way
men.
that that's the way
A
that
lot
has
of abundance of our
things
money, our bank account, and
time
everything else. But when women see power, they see power separated from money. That's why when you start talking to women, they say they want a man 6 feet tall. They want a man 6 feet tall because they feel like they're protected. Regardless if we believe they protected or not, he still could be somebody couldn't fight no good as somebody who was 5'3". But what I'm saying is they see that power, that mass. You know what I'm saying? So that's why women look at it in that way. I understand you might shake your head on this, brother. The standards of
it's
America
not
for a
really
long
relevant.
time was tall, dark, and handsome.
It still
Have
is.
any one of y'all ever heard of that before?
We all have. It still is.
Okay, so if you all have that, even though the white woman had the white man, she considered a certain type of man as being tall, dark, and handsome. That's what she was drawn to.
They probably got it from the
real
Moors,
tight.
because
Hold
the Moors took over Western Europe for like
Yeah, because of
700
the
years.
strength.
So.
Hold on.
800 years in Spain.
It's not.
So what I'm trying to say is, it's all about condition, my brother. Regardless of where you at, you can say it's a culture, whatever. Culture comes from people being conditioned into that culture or come up with that culture. We would never had soul music if they had let us in like everybody else. We wouldn't have had blues if they had let us in to their music. So all these things come from us not being accessible to it. And so we came up with our own. So we do have a culture, and you got to understand with that culture.
Hold on,
these
OG.
things
Hold
came
on,
along
OG.
with it.
Hold on, OG. I want to
Yes,
get
sir.
Chuck in.
All right.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Chuck.
yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and speak, and then I'm gonna let Janae. I think she came off the mic, and then we'll
Oh,
go back around. Go ahead.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Loud and clear.
Oh,
Peace,
okay.
brother.
Yeah, peace to you, OG. Williamson, Mr. Williamson, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Why do you think monogamy, the relationship of monogamy, why do you think it was created? Was it created for men or for women, in your personal opinion?
In my personal opinion,
Yeah, monogamy. Was monogamy meant for men or for women?
it was meant to protect women,
Meant to
but to
what?
suppress men nature a little bit. Yes.
That's not true. Monogamy was created for men. Do you know why?
Go ahead.
If polygamy become law in the United States, do you know what's going to happen? If polygamy become, let's use United States of America as an example. If polygamy becomes law in the United States, do you know what's going to happen? The top 5% of men, women will voluntarily flock to the top 5% of men. The top 5% of men ain't going to, they don't have to go and chase. Women will voluntarily flock. You know what? Do you know there is evolutionary reason behind that?
They're doing it right now.
They're doing it right now. And it's not
Drake can have any woman he wants.
Women, if you make polygamy law as the law in the
I agree
United
with
States
you.
of America,
I agree with you.
women will voluntarily flock to the top 5%. Any man that disputes that doesn't understand women.
They're already doing it now, but if it became U.S. law, that'd be
BMS.
they would gladly say we'll follow the law. Yeah,
BMS.
I'm talking of voluntarily. Women will voluntarily flock to the top. I'm talking
BMS.
about at least 15 to 20% of women.
BMS.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what kind of women y'all be hanging out with, but hold on now. Not all women are like that. Two, I've seen so many women that see certain these of these celebrities and they are appalled by them. Like they can't stand them. So not all women are like that.
Exception doesn't make the rule, my friend. You can use you see, as a man, you can't think of, you have to think of the percentage of probability. You're always going to have exception to the rule. You're going to have a couple women that's going to say, but I'm talking of based on the percentage of probability.
But that's why, okay, if that was the case, then they will always hold up to get with a man before then. But women still get involved with men, regardless of whether they have money or not. Women still get involved with them.
Yeah.
So, because that is not really like the number one thing. It's when the man that they're with doesn't meet certain standard, or they feel like that man is going to cheat on them, or that man did cheat on them, that they was like, okay, forget him. He broke and he still cheat on me. I might as well get one that has money.
With all due respect, that's a feminist talking point that's been debunked.
Yeah, and you can't say that women are only going to the top 5% because average men are cheating on them. Remember the statistics that I brought up earlier? 30% of men age 18 to 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in a year. He's twisting that into, these broke guys, they're getting their shot. They're just cheating on the women. And then the women are going to the top 5%.
Exactly.
That's disingenuous. I could say that humans are born, tend to be born with 10 fingers, and you can argue against that because some are born with 9, some are born with 11, and some are born with none.
DA.
Can we continue this conversation out of experience instead of talking points?
No. They had
just so y'all know, we got Janae trying to come in.
Sorry. Yeah, she's been waiting for a while. Let's let her.
2015, they did a scientific study by American
Hold on 1 second, Chuck.
Okay, sorry.
All right, go ahead, Janae.
Honestly, I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but it did have something to do with the fact that as far as like the women wanting to go for the top 10% men, I do think some of it has a lot to do with the fact that average men do cheat too, and like there is a narrative that it is going to be in a man's nature to cheat. So if a woman's going to be with a man, why wouldn't she just be with the best man who can actually make her happy if he's gonna cheat anyway? I mean, I get the whole statistic about men are virgins or like not having sex or whatever, but I also understand the other side. Like, if a woman doesn't want to be with someone who's average because
women and
they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't think
women and men cheat at similar rates.
Hold on.
Hold on, y'all. I don't think she finished though.
Okay.
I mean, I did, because I honestly forgot the point I was gonna say like 10 minutes ago, but I was just kind of piggybacking off of I think what Williamson was saying. Somebody said that women, like the average men cheat, and women go for the top earning men or whatever. But yeah, I can kind of see that point.
Yeah, so women and men cheat at similar rates, and women are less likely to report cheating when they do those studies because women are more heavily shamed than men are for promiscuity in any culture. Less in the West, but so there's actually, it's likely that more women cheat than admit because of shame. But even in self-reported cheating studies, women and men cheat at similar rates. So I mean, the argument goes both ways. Pretty evenly, and you know. Women will get with the best man that's available to them that they can get. So I use my grandma as an example. She might have had 12 options, whereas women now, they're going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So they're more likely to have the opportunity to meet and hook up with or date top 5% men now than they did in the past. And I think that's more so than anything. But that, I mean, it's a good point. But I just think that it's hypergamy and it's built into them. It's not like I mean, there's always a threat of cheating in any relationship, but
in any relationship. And in the survey they did in 2015 or 2016 by American Association of American Psychology Association, they asked women in that study, women initiate divorce about 70-75%. Then if they're college graduate, is at 90%. They asked like finances is one of the reasons the women cited that they usually initiate divorce. Not only finances, it was like some of them they asking one of the lady in the survey. It was like she grew bored, 2 kids, 8 years in marriage. It was like he grew that her husband was a cardiologist. It's like they were asking her husband. So money wasn't the problem. It's just that that she got bored. That her husband wasn't. So women divorces for so many reasons, just like some men can divorce for so many reasons. But the difference is women initiate divorce at higher rates than men, and sometimes it has nothing to do with money. They just want to to try something else. So I would say men are more loyal in relationship in marriage than women. If we've been honest, I know it sounds misogynistic to say it.
It's not misogynistic. It's actually spot on. So when you look, if anybody can do math correctly. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Janae, are you available for me to ask you a question?
Yeah.
You guys were speaking earlier. I think maybe Devil's Advocate, I think OG touched on women wanting 1% of men. And to me, I just don't think it's that simple. I think women are pretty simple, but I don't think it's that simple. I think it's a little more complicated than that. I don't believe women understand how to find this so-called 1% man, really. So my question to you is, if you were to walk into a bar or into a situation, how would you identify who the 1% guy is? And is that person really going to be the same person every single time that you go through a situation? Like, is this 1% Met guy just this one set of guys that everybody makes him seem to be? Or could any guy technically be 1%, somewhere to somebody? From your opinion.
Okay. Well, since you're so let me.
It's a 2-part question. So do you understand what I'm asking?
Are you asking how do women identify these men?
I'm asking how you would in particular, and then do you see a difference does a difference in the types of 1% men make a difference to you as well?
Okay. Well, for me, for personalizing it, I don't really I don't seek out certain types of men. If that makes sense. Like honestly, I don't really seek out men to begin with. But I think that for me, like, I know what I'm attracted to and I know what I like. And so I can't tell what people make. I don't know. I'm not looking at people like what they're wearing and designer and stuff, what have you. Like, I don't know what people have in their bank accounts. So, I mean, but what I will say is that a lot of times it's hard because, like, you asked about me, and honestly, and like, this is genuine. Like, when it comes to like face-to-face interaction, like, that matters to me a lot more rather than looking for a certain type of guy. But what I will say is that, you know, I grew up in Southern California, and like, really, my parents intentionally, I moved around a lot, but my parents intentionally kept us in like higher income areas, and I just lived in like nice, really nice places, but not rich, but like, you know, really nice places. And so for me, it's like I grew up seeing a certain type of person and a certain type of life. And so I kind of am able to identify like that. Like, I'm very familiar with that type of person and life. That's not to say that, like, you know, I'm closed off. But so if you're asking about me, if I go into a bar, like, I don't know, I'm not looking for a type of 1% guy. But what I will say, as far as other women who are looking for that, a lot of women who specifically call that out and have that be their standard, I do think that it's because they have been able to be in those spaces with those people. Like, you're not going to be looking for, you know, a 1% guy at Applebee's, right? Like, if you're someone who goes to, you know, happy hour on a Thursday afternoon and tell Frisco's or something like that, like, just with your friends, or if you hang out at rooftop bars in Los Angeles, like, it's not that you're seeking it out, you're just around it, and you're naturally, like, attracting that type of person. So I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question.
So
but
I thought there was a problem. Go ahead, Zoe. I was going to respond to your question, not as like a woman, but I think the problem with your question was
Not as a
that
woman.
it's the men. Like, I'm not answering the question. How do I seek out But yeah, you know what I mean. Your question kind of implies that women seek out men. Men are the ones that kind of cast their net out, and nowadays it's social media, so you don't need to see their bank account. They have overt and covert ways to show lifestyle photos.
Right.
They might sneak their car in their photo. They might sneak how much they travel in their photos. They might, like, it's not a science. So, like, I mean,
I didn't mean to imply that she was seeking out. So I heard when she said that, I kind of felt like stopping her there, but she was also working through her train of thought.
Yeah.
So it's not really about the seeking out part. It's more about the identifying. Like I was saying, I said to begin with, I don't believe that women know how to identify these things, and I think that they more. And she did answer my question when it's like, I think they go more for what they're attracted to, honestly. And that's what she was saying.
Right.
So
Yeah,
for a
and
certain
women are
degree, it's
attracted
like
to
you
ambition.
find 1% in saying, "Oh, this person is going to be, you know, multi-billionaire Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark,"
Yeah. See, now
or
we're
do you
getting
find out by going by for what you look for and what you're attracted to, and then figuring out through conversation interaction the other things that might make him 100% or not.
I mean, it's this
Would be
simple.
happy
You
with
know
you.
what? Devil's advocate, that was actually
Go
a
ahead.
really good point about the Instagram. And I forget, because honestly, like, I really am not on Instagram like that. Like, I don't really have any posts. Sometimes I look. But, you know, women who do post on Instagram a lot, especially, like, really pretty women, they can literally attract any guy, like, around the world. And so you don't even have to be in those places. Like, a guy can find your Instagram from, you know, Dubai.
Yep. And then it all comes down to when she looks at his Instagram,
yeah, so
if she
it's
gives him a
really
chance or not.
not a science to it. But I don't know, that statistic to me, like, 80% of women are going for, like, the top 20% of men. It's very fishy to me, because just in real life practice, and I'm not a stat, like, I'm not, you know, a person who, like, knows everything.
Janae,
But
Janae,
in life,
Janae.
I'm not seeing that sort of behavior. Like, I don't know.
Marcos, yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
I know.
Let's not make this about.
All right.
Let's
Cool,
make it
cool.
so, like, the chat. And sorry, I'm gonna let you rock right after me.
No. Janae, I just have one question.
Oh.
Are you? Oh, did she mute up? Or?
Yeah, she's on mute.
Ma'am, I just have one question, and please just answer yes or no. Are you looking for 666 in a man? Yes or no?
No. Well, I'm
Okay.
not looking
All
for
right.
a man. So.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was
Let's
gonna
move
respond to
on.
Zoe before the
No, but
question. So,
genuinely, like if you're
Janae,
asking,
Janae,
wait, I just want to clarify this. So
go
if you're
ahead.
asking about me, like,
I'm good. I just wanted a
no.
short answer.
I
No,
had a
I
perfect response to Zoe, but I don't want.
want to
I know
clarify
you
this.
did that. I want to hear your response. I'm
No.
more
I want to
short,
clarify
sweet
this.
to the
No,
point.
now she has to respond to
I
you
want to
because
hear
you came in and
Janae.
asked the question.
She
So go ahead.
said no.
I said,
She whispered it.
yeah, I
No.
I know,
want
but
to.
now she's got to
Well, yeah,
explain.
because you put me on the spot, so I felt like I need to
No,
clarify.
that's the show
Yes,
topic.
All right,
Amira
Go,
I'll
and
Janae. Go,
I'll
Janae. Just
remember.
go.
okay, go
at
ahead
the
now.
end of the day, it's like, if you're asking about me, it's like I'm not looking for. I mean, I think a lot of women can kind of relate. Like, I feel like we just kind of attract the man that we attract, you know. So it's like it's not a lot of times that we're looking for.
Are you looking for it?
Hold up, I got a jet actually, so I'm just gonna make
Personally,
my
do you were looking
final.
for it personally?
Hold on,
Do you
Janae, can I
want
just
it?
make?
Yes or no?
No. I only like the
Let's
men that
pretend
like
you
me
and I are on a
Hold on,
date. I'm
Marcus.
just
Marcus,
asking
I
a direct
actually.
question.
No, I'm not. I literally
Thank
only
you.
like the
No
men that
filibustering.
like
Just
me.
I
Okay.
appreciate this good direct
All right,
answer.
but
Go ahead, Devil's Advocate.
yeah, and I actually am gonna jet right after this, so you guys can pull someone up for me. So Zoe, I mean, asked a good question. If you guys were here like about 30 minutes ago, he said, "I'm not 6 feet. I'm not this and that, but I tend to do well for myself," and that kind of ties into the same mindset behind. Well, I don't think women are actually looking for the top 1%. Like, how do they know it's in his bank account? You know, it's all about the in-person interaction. So he likes to highlight the X factor that can make you move up or down in your interaction with women, but that ignores the actual trends that we're talking about when we speak generally about things. So my question, instead of saying what Zoe asked, my question would be: same guy, $100,000 is added to his income. Is he going to have an easier time with women? Yes or no? Obviously, yes. If you added 6 inches to his height, is he going to have a better time or the same with women? He's going to have an easier time with women. It's that simple. And you have some guys that are 6'3", making millions of dollars a year, pro athletes, rappers, but even people outside of the industry, fit doctors, fit lawyers. It is literally effortless for them to get women. They can have huge personality flaws. They can be alcoholics. They can have a huge temper. If an average dude were to have that temper, he's not getting shit. So I think that's more like the right questions that we should be asking. Yeah, it's easy for women to say, no, I don't look for a top 1% guy, but then ask them about, well, one, you got to take into account how good of a catch she is, and then ask her about the last few guys she's talked to and the last few guys
Yeah,
she's dated
Devil's Advocate.
seriously.
Ask her
Odds
who
are
she's
they're above
attracted
average.
to. Ask her
Odds
who
are-
gets her
Conversation
turned
gotta
well,
go.
on.
they'll lie
Yeah.
about that though, because they don't
Yeah.
want to.
I like asking direct
I'll tell
questions.
you.
Yeah,
But
but
they'll lie about that though.
yeah, but they're not
Get a
going to
direct
admit that.
answer.
Well,
Marcos,
Let her talk.
Marcos,
Let
they're
her
not going
say
to
what she
admit
got to
that.
say.
But that's all
My
she's
last-
talking. I just wanted to direct, and I respect her for answering the question.
yeah,
My last
and I'm not saying you're lying, Janae. I'm
your earner, so
Just long-winded.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm long-winded. Okay, anyway.
So can
I'm
I say
being
Yes or no?
something?
facetious. Please continue. I'm being facetious. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
So can I say something real quick?
Just go ahead.
Okay, she told you that specifically that she is attracted to a certain type of man, and when that man will approach her, she will more likely give that man time, regardless of whether he has money or not, because she don't really look at the flashiness. Okay, most women will get with doctors and marry them, but they'll still will sleep with men that they are really attracted to. So again, attraction really trumps those money. They just use this money for what you call it, support, stability. They just like that part,
Stability.
but they will still sleep with those type of men that they are attracted to first and foremost.
Yes, that's
So
true.
if that's the case, the best way to get him is the type of men that they are really looking for.
But even if when a woman can find her type of man, marry him, and give him 2 babies, she would still step out on with another man.
That's not true.
It's in her nature. She continues to be her programmist. Even if she
That's
marries
not
the
true.
perfect
That's
guy,
not
it's the
true.
truth.
Like I
I'm
said, if
59
she
years
married
old. I'm
that
going by
man,
life experience.
If she cheat
Devil's
on that
advocate,
man, that man
devil's
was
advocate is
never
going to give you stats and statistics. I'm giving you life experience. I've
okay.
seen it.
That
I've
woman was
experienced
you
it. You
were
know,
never with okay. Okay. If it's life
I've
experience, then
traveled all over the world, sir.
okay.
It's women are like that. Even in third world countries, women, they can have the perfect guy, but if they can get away with it, they will.
Hey,
Pastor
Mr. Williamson.
Then they'll project saying, "Oh, men dogs, or men
Before
cheat."
you
But in
respond, can I
reality,
rephrase?
hypergamy in them doesn't stop because they found the perfect guy.
I
They
wanna
will
let the
continue to
guy
do it.
respond, please, Mr. Devil's
Okay.
Advocate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before E. Williamson responds, I just wanted to rephrase what Marcus is saying. It's called the law of diminishing returns. So I've seen a lot of my friends' dads, like they were the stud athlete in college. They were the great catch, landed a job making 80K out of college, but this was like 40 years ago when they graduated college. So a lot of them got cheated on for one reason or another, and they might not have been the perfect guy, but because of the law of diminishing returns, that just means that like if you were to eat an apple every day for like, even if apples are your favorite fruit, you're going to get sick of it eventually. And it even affects women. So like, say you have a great sense of humor, she gets used to your sense of humor, and now another guy hitting on her seems a lot more entertaining than, but it wouldn't have competed with your sense of humor when you picked her up 15 years ago. She's just bored with the relationship.
It's new. They get bored.
Exactly.
They get bored
And men are
easily.
affected by it too. Again, I'm not shitting on women. These
But
things affect human
women
beings.
more,
But
because
well, yeah,
we
when you
men,
combine it
we
with
find other
hypergamy.
things to curb that boredom. We have hobbies. We may want to
Oh,
do
yeah.
other things besides, but women are
What?
focused 100% on us.
That
And
is
if they're bored
rubbish.
with us, they'll go to someone else.
So
But
all I'm
that's
saying
hypergamous
is,
nature. It's biology.
all I'm saying is you're never
I
home free
accept
as a
it.
man, Marcus. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is you're never home free. You can have it all, and
Well,
there's a woman out there that might get bored of it. I mean,
That's what I
that's
and
just
true. What?
told Williams.
That's true.
You said it
What?
more eloquently than I did, but that's basically what I told him in
So
layman's
can I say
terms.
something
Same
now?
thing. It's just the
Was
way it is. Yeah.
the co-founder of Google? Didn't his wife cheated on him? With
Okay, just because
He was only
okay,
worth $20-30 billion.
okay,
no,
can I say something real quick?
he worth almost 100 billion.
But he has money.
Yes,
That's all we
yes.
know him for.
Yeah,
But
well,
but
yeah.
and the
was
chick is not that
he
attractive. The chick,
Okay.
okay?
Well, bad example. Hey, let's look at Michael B. Jordan.
Again.
Let's look at Will Smith,
okay,
E.
okay.
Williamson. I know you're gonna attack the Google guy because he's a nerd. Let's look at Will Smith. Let's look at Michael B. Jordan. I mean, like
Okay, hold on, D. Okay, D. Devil advocate. Okay, we know. Okay, let's use Will Smith for example. Will
yeah.
Smith was never Jada guy to begin with. True or false?
But she decided to commit to marriage with him.
Again, was never his type. I mean, her type to begin with.
We don't know
I mean,
that.
what I
All
call
we
Will
know
Smith,
is that they're married
He
couple
married the
and she
man
stepped
for
out. Those are the
stability.
facts that we know.
yeah, and but
She married a high earned income megastar and she
For
still
stability.
I mean,
freaked out.
And
yeah,
Those
fame.
are the facts.
Okay.
Never
Yeah.
Like I
satisfied.
said,
Never satisfied.
women are
It's in
more
her nature.
attracted to the type of men that they like first. If they
Brother,
get
none
that
of us get
good,
out
Okay.
of
So
this
here's what he's
alive.
doing.
It's
He's
their
moving the
nature.
goalposts. Marcos, hold on. He's moving the goalposts. So first we said
Yeah,
perfect
he
man,
is.
which there is no perfect man for
Thank
one.
you.
So that I
Okay.
mean that's like not even an argument because they don't exist. So you're
Mhm.
saying that women would never cheat on a man that doesn't exist. So
What are you
assuming
talking about?
what we're trying to do is inch closer to perfect. You look at a guy with a good personality, family man. I mean, he's over 6 feet. He makes more money than just about anyone watching this will ever make in their life in a year. And he's committed to her, and she cheated on him. So, I mean, that supports Marcus's point that no matter what you have as a man, you're never home free from cheating. And you can say, well, yeah, but she was never his type. That's moving the goalpost. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay, can I say something real quick, D?
because there is no man that we can use as an example for you to just say, oh, she wasn't his type or he was a nerd. But we're using millionaires and billionaires
D.
and good actors and family men and like men that have reached levels that most men never reach in their life.
DA.
So I mean, right now at this point, we're just dancing in circles. The point is
DA.
valid.
Hi,
DA.
Janae. Welcome in again. We can barely
Sounds
hear you
further
again.
away.
Oh, I said hey.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Janae.
Yeah, so whoever wants to chime
How
in.
are you?
Yeah.
How are you today?
Let me say something real quick.
Good. I want you to like get either closer to your phone or something because you still sound really far away.
Okay, how's now? I'm like half yelling, kind of. Some of my voice is really annoying. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to yell. So you guys can hear me, but
You on a road trip?
No, I'm coming back to San Diego, so it's been a long drive, but I'm almost home.
Okay. So,
do you have anything? Do you want to respond to anyone on the panel?
No, I honestly think that I've said all I like really have to say on this topic. I think it's a really good discussion. I just honestly like in life, I don't know, because I'm not dating women. You guys are the ones dating women. But the 666 thing, I honestly see it a lot more on the internet than I do in practice. I see a lot of women with just average, everyday men. They may not look like Naomi Campbell and Rihanna, but I see a lot of women with average, everyday men who are not making six figures, and I think that's fine. I think that people need to, like, just, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with women, like, wanting a man to make a certain amount of money, but I also see a lot of women with men who don't make that much money or who are making just average money, and so I don't know. But it's still a good topic.
Well, yeah, because most people are average, but when you ask a woman what she wants, now not what she got with, what she ended up with, but what she wants is, typically the 666. That's why let's just be honest. That's what they say they want.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that, there's nothing wrong with wanting, right? Like, and I was telling the guys earlier, I've been guilty of this, saying this myself, like, oh, I want a guy like this and I want a guy like that. But in reality, things happen a lot differently. And I think a lot of women, if you ask them directly, do you want a guy who makes 200,000 or do you want a guy who makes 60,000? Everyone's gonna choose the guy who makes 200,000. Do you want a guy who's 5'8" or do you want a guy who's 6'3"? Everyone's gonna choose the guy who's 6'3" because that's just what we want. But in practice, I see it happening a lot differently. So I don't think.
Don't you think it's a problem that us women, when we're asked what we want, instead of thinking about character, discipline, integrity, we go straight to your manhood size, your bank size, and your height? Don't you think that is a problem?
Ameera, it's not manhood size. The 6 is a 6-pack. It's not the manhood size.
Well, I've heard
Ameera,
no. It's also
it's women's nature.
women
You're in some
always say that
freaky
too.
circles. Then
Women want what
that's
they
not
want.
the tradition.
They
No,
end up getting what they can
it
get.
is what they say. I mean, what you've heard is the PG-13 version. I've
Yeah.
heard
I know.
the actual version.
You've been in the. Oh, okay. You got
I've
it.
been
You've heard better than me. I ain't gonna lie. You've heard better
I've
than
been
me.
on the wrong side of YouTube. Okay.
To answer your question, I think it's always an issue when women are focused on outer things, right? Like when we're like, okay, the first thing I want in a guy is he has to do this, he has to have this. Like when it's all talking about superficial things, that's always a problem. But I watch a lot of these dating shows on YouTube now. I watch a lot of Fresh and Fit. I think it's really entertaining. I watch a lot of these women talk about the things that they want, and while that is something that they mention, they do mention a guy who's loyal, a guy who's honest, faithful, hardworking. Like I hear these things too. But when you're talking about your ideal guy, I think it's just natural for women to want what they consider the best, and that might be 666. So but I get both sides. I don't think anyone should be superficial. But it's easy to be when you're talking about what you want on an internet platform, right?
I have a suggestion for Janae because she seems to have a lot of like real life experience that she pulls from, and that causes her to be kind of like give women the benefit of the doubt in just about everything we talk about. Like, why don't men just settle with these average women? Oh my God, we forgot to respond to her point that the average woman is a size 16 in the US, and there are plenty of average women that men can just settle down with.
Size 16.
I know.
Correct.
And that really
Oh,
irks me
size
because
16.
health and
Morbidly
fitness.
obese.
Hold on. Yeah. and health and fitness is a huge part of my life. Like I ran track in college, and most of my friends did. Like, if that's like me saying, if say women just started kicking our ass in everything, and the average man in 2030 made $5,000 a year, and the average woman made 100K a year, that's like me saying, well, the average man makes 5K a year, you guys need to just settle with average. You're not going to see me doing that. Like, if men just lost all ambition and responsibility and couldn't hold a job, and then started making 5K a year, because again, we're supposed to be able to provide.
We'd have to lose all of our
family.
testosterone for that to happen.
You would not hear me saying, you guys better start dating average men. So let's flip that around like you did. Average women is a size 16, which is obese. It's cutting into their lifespan. They're supposed to, grandparents can be a huge help in raising children, and they're literally cutting their life expectancy down to like their 50s. And that's assuming they don't have diabetes or a health problem that kills them before then. So I think it's a good point. It's a good point in the context of our argument, but in practicality, I think it's a bad direction to go in. Like when the average, go ahead, Ameera.
Oh, sorry, devil's advocate. I wanted to say something to the ladies. Ladies, I see that men are less shallow than us when it comes to what they want in a person. When women say what they want in a man, the majority of the times, the first three things has nothing to do with their character, integrity, discipline, what have you. It always has to do with what they can provide for you or what they can give. And this is something that I've seen with men. When men ask for when they're asked, what do you want in a woman? They typically say someone who is respectful, kind, friendly, something. And that goes along with your personality, character. Yes, men will say, I want a woman who is fit or thin. That's not superficial. That's more like, I want someone who is healthy. Someone that I'm not going to have to bury. My goodness. Someone that I'm not going to have to bury in 10, 20 years. I don't want to have to bury you. What do you guys
think? Not shoving McDonald's down my kid's throat every day.
Do you know what's hypocritical about this? A lot of women wouldn't compromise on height, but they expect men to compromise on weight. Even though the weight has more serious health consequences.
Triggered.
Yes, I am triggered, bro.
I had a moment.
Oh my God.
Has anybody heard of a guy of a superhero named Derek Jackson? He used to tell his female fans, his female fanatics, that it doesn't matter what your weight looks like, a man will be lucky to have you. He said, accept you for no matter how much you weigh. I'm paraphrasing what he used to tell women. He was pandering to him for money, and I respect his hustle, but what you just said, sir, is true. We have to live up to this high standard, and women biologically, is nothing wrong, Ameera, with women wanting those things. It's in your nature, but it's also in our nature because we're visual, and I'm not going to be the woman who's a size 16.
Yeah,
and it's not because I'm just worried about her health. I'm not going to be sexually aroused by a size 16 woman.
Period. The only thing that I'm asking for is that within the first three things, can we at least include character? If you want a tall man, okay, that's fine. But can you include a character? The comment that I highlighted,
nice, but in reality, it's not going to happen. I would love that to be that. I would love them to love for my character. Yeah, I would. But
the comment that I highlighted says that's big time cap. They want a beautiful girl that's sane. Beautiful. Let's break down beautiful. What entails beauty? Usually health. Because typically an unhealthy woman is not beautiful. If you're fat, you're not beautiful. I'm sorry. I don't care what the world tells you today. You are undesirable.
Period.
Most men. I mean, you have fetish men. There are fetish men. I'll give you that.
But they're in the minority.
But what I'm saying is, look, beauty means health. Honestly, you're not going to be beautiful if you're not healthy. Well, you can be beautiful with makeup. You can cover up all your unhealthiness. You can cover it up.
The more makeup we see on a woman, the skin turned off.
I actually, again,
it's got to wash it off sooner or later.
I'm not gonna self promote, but I have done a short video on the beauty standards, and it's called "Smoke and Mirrors: Female Beauty Standards." And what's interesting is if you look at a pie chart of what men are attracted to, we're more visual than women. Women are allowed to be more picky than men because so many men approach them nowadays. But as far as the size of the slice of the pie, men are more visually driven, and it's not what makes beauty is signs of fertility. So like childbearing hips, breasts, facial symmetry, things that tie into like also being a model, especially in not like modern anorexic
Even the
Victoria's
shape
Secret
of their
models.
eyes, even the shape of
Yep,
their
that's
eyes,
true.
was advocate.
That's true.
Almond
And
shaped eye
so
women
what's
are
interesting though,
we're
hold on,
attracted to
BMS, to
that.
tie that
Yeah.
together, what's interesting is there is a literal multi-billion-dollar industry to help women fake every single one of those things that I've named. So the makeup and cosmetics industry, the BBL industry, the implant industry.
Like Ameera said,
it's
you can't
sad.
fake character.
It's sad. It's sad to me because honestly, like men are not going to be socialized into liking. I think men are a lot more rigid in what they're attracted to. Like men aren't going to just get drunk and make out with their friend at a bar because a bunch of women wanted them to. Like you really tend to only see that with women. Again, I'm speaking generally, but like men are not going to be socialized to like women that are built like Humpty Dumpty in any civilization. You can
We're
try.
hardwired for it, brother.
So
We're
and
hardwired.
and so we say that it's sad or it's shame it's bad that men, even when they're 50 they're attracted to younger women, but the men that were attracted to 50-year-old women, we are not going to be descendants of. Maybe there was men like that at one point because
So can
there's
I say something real quick?
I've dated women
yeah.
older than me and younger
BMS, I
than
feel
me.
like you're not listening until like it's something's on the tip of your tongue.
Devil's advocate.
I do go on.
Devil's
advocate.
No,
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 I'm
I'm
listening
listening,
to
sorry.
no,
I
I'm
am
listening to
listening.
what you're saying, but
Okay.
I agree with most part of what you said, but there is one
Yeah. What
slight
is it? What
disagreement
is it? Let's talk about it.
After him, I would like Janae to give her point because she was
Okay,
trying to get Mr. Advocate's attention. I'm sorry, Mr.
Okay,
BMS.
there's one slight disagreement I agree with about 90%. Most men are willing to compromise. Let's say if a female is 9, let's say on a beauty scale, let's say he's like 9 on a beauty scale, most men are willing to be with a female that's like 6 or 7 if she has a nice personality, as long as she's not overweight. You see, if she has a nice personality. So men are more, because men are idealistic lovers. It's like their beauty. Men fall in love with women with their beauty, their personality, their physical features of women. So men are idealistic lovers. Women are fluctuational and provisional lovers. How you make them feel and what you can provide for them. So
exactly.
So because they're provisional and fluctuational lovers, so there are some evolutionary reasons why that is. I'm not against that, actually. There are some valid reasons good valid reasons why that is. So I'm not actually against that. That's good for evolution. But what we're seeing right now, feminism has confused a lot of men and women, thinking that men and women are the same. That we're
Buenas
going
noches,
to
Catherine.
huh?
No, I was saying buenas noches to Catherine. She was saying good night to everyone.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
Yeah. So
let's let Janae.
feminism. So what we're seeing right now in the dating market, you're seeing the manifestation of feminist movement. You actually seeing it that men and women are supposed to be attracted to the same thing. Men and women have similar attraction. That it doesn't matter if you're in, which is not true. Like how often have you seen a rich man, whether he's black, white, Middle Eastern, Asian, being with a fat chick?
Yeah, when I said rigid,
let's let
Janae get in.
She wants to respond too.
Yeah, devil's advocate, to your point, I totally agree. Like, I feel like just naturally and not only just like size, but also shape as well. Like, there's certain shapes that men are just naturally wired to be attracted to, and I think that's totally fine. And with that, for women mostly, who have sort of an issue with that, it's like we tell them, well, lose weight, like change it. These are things that you can change about yourself. On the other hand, I also think that women are hardwired to be attracted to men who are very competitive in this economy. So if you have the, because it takes, and I think the language needs to change. I think that in order to make a certain amount of money, like you have to have certain characteristics about yourself. You have to be a certain kind of way. And I think that is a lot of what women are attracted to as well. And so we're kind of hardwired to want someone that we know can like compete in the world, and someone who's much better than us, and someone who is can take care of a family and all of those things too. So I think women are hardwired to want the best, just like men are hardwired to want women who are healthy and have healthy, fertile bodies. And so with that, I would say, you know, everyone should be trying to be their best in their respective roles, because that's just what people are hardwired to be attracted to. And I just don't understand why women are like demonized for that, because I don't think men should be demonized for wanting women who are healthy and fit, because I think that's just what they like. So I think it happens in both ways, just on different subjects.
Yeah, Janae, women are not demonized. A lot of women have ridiculous standard that when you start listening to a lot of women, the type of men they usually want the top 1%. Like I'm talking about 70 something percent of women. Like they usually want top 1%, 6 feet tall, over 6 feet tall, make six figures. How many men in the United States really think me just those two criteria? How many, like what percentage of men? But 70% of women want those men. There's nothing wrong in wanting those men. There's nothing wrong. But a lot of women are not living in a like they're not living in a real world. It's like when you tell them, hey, do you know those kind of men are like literally less than 5%, 6 feet tall with six figures? You're talking of like less than 5% of men. Then when you add in six packs, that's not adding the personality. That's not adding do they know how to conversate, talk, interact, persuade? When you start adding those, the type of men that a lot of women actually want, man, we're talking of like only like maybe 2% of men that fit in that categories. Whereas men, on the other hand, are more reasonable. I'm not saying you have some men that are way out there. Like, I'm talking of majority of regular guys and even high-honored men are more reasonable compared to their female counterpart. Their female counterpart, there's like they talk of men like less than 3% of men. You when you tell them, you know, these men are actually less than 3% of men by all measurable categories, they're like, no, they try to argue about it. So I understand where you're coming from, that men are more reasonable in their choice mates compared to their female counterpart.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Hey, DA, I think you need to change your name. I'm gonna be the real devil advocate, because
Sure.
everything
Yeah, you're right.
everything I'm talking about is not that I'm coming at that. This is how I'm just coming from a different perspective, right? So if I'm going in a certain direction, I'm trying to look
Yeah.
at things from the other way around. You get
Yeah.
what I'm
You
saying?
can be called, you get contrarian. That's what we'll call you.
Yeah,
Okay.
contrarian.
I like that. I like that. But what I wanted to say is, you mentioned 70% of women are looking at the top, correct?
That
Oh,
was
Vince?
not me, but that was,
No,
that
I'm
was
That was
talking
Vince.
you.
about BMS.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Around, yeah.
so if that's the case, if that's true, why can't we focus on the 30% that are not looking for and leave those 70% alone? Why can't we focus on the 30%? Okay.
The bottom 30% of women?
What do
Why
you
is
mean bottom?
it bottom
Well,
30?
Yeah.
Like,
What do you mean bottom?
well,
you
the
like, can I
the
respond?
rule is, hold on, BMS. The rule is usually like, you know how like what is said usually is 20% of men are getting with 80% of women. Like the top guys are juggling women. They're not settling down because they don't need to. And so when you
Okay.
say, why don't we just focus on the non 80% of women. That's
Okay.
the 20% of women that the
Because
20% of women that the top 20% of men will not touch. So that's why I call it the bottom 20% of women.
okay, so why? Okay, is it possible that men has overlooked characters first and focus on looks, and then those looks overlook them to look at certain things else, and now we're complaining. We are
Yeah,
No.
yes, it is. But yes, it is because men, it's a non-starter if there's no physical attraction. Like if
okay.
I don't want to reproduce with you, then I don't care how good your cooking skills are because I'm not attracted to you. Are you saying and by the way, you're acting like you made a point, but men's standards for looks are
Mm-hmm.
extremely low. Men will hook up with a lot lower than their like a guy that's an 8 won't just hook up with 8s and above, but women that are 8s tend to only want to hook up with guys that are top 20% or 8s or above. So you actually didn't,
Okay,
you can do
but
your little
here's the thing.
gesture, but you didn't.
Okay, Da. Let's just
Let's rock.
let's be friends. Okay, bro. What I'm saying is it part? Okay, because like Janae also spoke earlier, a lot of women are getting with average guys that are making average income, right, and making it work. True or false?
A lot is very ambiguous, so you could use that against me.
Yeah,
If she
like
said a lot is in, because 1% could be millions in the U.S. So again, what is a lot?
Okay,
Most?
I
Probably
I,
not.
s- I said
Definitely not,
earlier.
actually.
I said
I would argue that most women date within their network, like their social network. So a lot of, especially in regular life, off of YouTube, not Instagram baddies, average women a lot of times will be with the men who are making equal to them or maybe like a little bit more, a little bit less. Like most people are both working in their households.
Janae, did you know that the divorce rate spikes when a woman starts to out earn her husband, even if he earned more than her when they married? Did you know that?
that is true.
No, but
Even
yeah,
That
Mr.
is true.
Williamson, the contrarian, knew that.
Okay,
And I'm not saying you should
hold
know
on,
that. I'm not saying
hold
you
on.
should know that, but like
I actually
there,
spoke with a lady, my coworker, earlier this week, right? I mean, this weekend. And the reason why she left her current baby daddy, they built together, right? But eventually, she
she
built to a
outgrew him.
point that she felt like he wasn't adding on to her again, right?
Mhm,
So she left, right?
mhm.
But then she wound up with somebody else that she started taking care of.
Uh,
So I'm like,
Karma.
how does that really work? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I
She
mean,
had a type already.
she
This
probably
one was,
realized that's a good that ties in perfectly to what we're talking about. And what I think,
but
if I only knew that and I had to guess what happened there, I would guess that she left her husband that she outgrew.
no, never
And,
married, never married.
okay, well, she left her guy that she
Baby
outgrew,
daddy, baby
baby
daddy.
daddy, and then she realized that she was having more trouble than she expected getting a guy that out earned her. So she
Yeah.
ended up settling for a guy that at least ticks a couple
One of
other
the
boxes,
issues she
good dick,
mentioned, one
whatever.
of the issues she mentioned was that that guy was way too easy in the house. She became the leader in the house, trying to,
Mhm.
train the kids. Like she
No
couldn't
woman
fall
wants
back.
that.
She
True.
could she couldn't fall back to, okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
tell your daddy, because daddy will still look at them and pretend that he's not seeing that. So now
True,
she
but
have to raise her voice. You see what I'm saying?
I
So
don't think that. I bet you that wouldn't have been a problem if he would have still doubled her income. I
It
bet you
would
she would
have.
yeah,
have kept her mouth shut.
exactly,
It would
exactly.
have.
So he
Da,
lost
Da,
frame.
It
yeah,
would have.
Da is exactly right. If
You,
that guy was making more money,
y'all
but
don't understand.
this
Y'all don't understand.
no,
It would have still be a
No,
problem
it's a
yeah,
problem.
because
Yes,
a woman role is not to lead the house. She will get tired eventually if a man is there.
that's true. Williamson, Mr. Williamson, that's true. But income covers a lot of problems in a relationship. That's what DA is trying to say. Income earnings covers a lot of problems. Like
No,
that
no,
lady
it
Good night,
doesn't.
y'all. I'm gonna head
no.
out.
All
all
right,
right,
All
so
right, Joe.
guys, I'm gonna go too. It's been a really great discussion.
yeah,
Thank
have
you.
a
All
good
right.
one.
All
Oh,
right, thanks for coming
Janae.
out,
The
man.
last thing, I had something for Danae. I wanted her to try making a dating app as an average guy and just see what it's like. Or you could watch. There's a lot of YouTube videos of women who had a preconceived notion about guys. They made a dating app profile because women think that they know men inside and out and what it would take to get a woman because they see so many guys fucking up, So so then they'll make a dating profile. Like, I know what women want here. I'll plan plenty of dates, and then so the only rule is you can't use like some Giga Chad Tyrone photo, like some Calvin Klein model. You have to be within reason, like within the average range. Not some slob either, but just like an average guy.
Average
Not
guy.
Yeah, not a pro athlete looking dude. And
Are you down for the challenge?
I will say this. So
it'd be fun.
I totally believe you. I believe you that you guys have it hard. I'm really sorry that you have it hard. Like, I don't know.
I'm not. No.
She's not sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I am, because like honestly, I would hate to be a man right now. Like, honestly, unless I was rich, because it's just it's difficult. But I will say that maybe sometimes dating apps aren't really a good way to find a person, especially because men don't really look as good in pictures anyway. And so if you don't really look that good and you don't seem like you have a fantastic lifestyle, it's just going to be difficult. So I guess I feel you, but thank you guys. It's been really fun.
Yeah. And it'd be fun because you'd see actual female dating profiles where I see a lot of like, please be at least 6 feet, or, please own your own house, or like you'll see some of the realities of people being brutally honest from inside, because there's no shame for what you do and who you swipe on when you're alone in a room. But I think it'd be fun.
Guys, since the conversation is calming down now, I want to let us go ahead and exit stage left altogether, not one by one. So just really quickly, I did get a request to Mr. Williamson to to pull his camera up, because apparently some people are saying that it looks like you're ordering food at the drive-through because your head is up like that. So I don't know. That wasn't me, Mr. Williamson.
No, the reason is, you see, I got a big old TV right here, so I have to look up. That's the reason. So
But people are saying that it looks like you're ordering food, and I'm sorry.
It's
It's all the
reflecting
way
off his
up there.
glasses.
So.
We see straight up his nose.
Come on,
It's all
now.
good.
It's not even
You're all
there.
clear in there, brother. You're all
It's
clear.
not even there, brother. It's not even
I don't
there.
mean to be rude. Okay.
No, you
guys.
good. You good. But that's the only reason why I'm looking up at the screen here. I don't have a desktop monitor, so I just have a big old TV that I hook it up because I'm in my office. I do this from my office, so
All right, guys.
that's
I
the
want to say
reason
thank
why.
you. And Barry, this is actually tea. It's actually Arabic tea, not Turkish, because tonight we're going Arab style. Thank you guys so much. No easy. It's not a yak. I swear, it's not a yak. I've actually never drank alcohol. I don't know what a yak is, but I want to say thank you guys again. Thank you guys for joining me on your Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. I can't wait to see you guys next Sunday. I really enjoyed it. I know I had to step off for a minute, but like I said, it's been great. It's been great. And I do appreciate the questions, even though some of them were uncomfortable. I appreciate all of them because, like I said, I'm willing to talk about any topic. It doesn't matter. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys on next Sunday. Have a great week.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
BBLs though. BBLs is a great topic.
Thank you so much.